we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Monday Sound Stream. We've got some topics. I threw up some movie and show reviews just because stuff I hadn't talked about, and there wasn't as much news. But yeah, we got some cool stuff going on. We have a stacked crowd in the house here. We got Ryan in one corner.
Weighing 224 pounds is me.
Yay! And
what's another? Who's another quarter?
In the other corner, we got Fighter Cows. How you going, Jerry?
Well, I mean, I lost a sigh, but I can get it back.
And then Master Splinter Wheels up here in the corner, other corner above Jerry.
Is he is he his Doc Lewis? Is he his like wrestling manager? His Mickey through Rocky?
Maybe.
Because, I mean, right now, I feel valued, but not respected.
Fair. Muteki was like, did you get a new shirt? No, this actually, I just busting out the summer wear because it's a white t-shirt, but it's got Wrecker from the Bad Batch on it.
By the way,
Bought
guys,
that last year. I did go to Hot Topic, though, but I was looking for a Trafalgar Law Funko Pop instead. I didn't find it.
By the way, guys, do you think if we get drafted to the 100 men's versus a gorilla, do you think we're going to survive? Because me and Jerry think we're going to survive if we're later waves. If we're later waves, we got this, because gorillas don't have good stamina.
I have watched 10 Planet of the Apes movies. No one's walking away from that except the gorilla.
Oh, gorillas actually do not have good stamina. As long as we have enough people,
here's the thing.
We can solo this.
Here's the thing. You have to make sure that the people in front of you are not the dumbest people possible, because people fighting a gorilla are going to be the dumbest people possible. Gorilla don't need stamina. Gorilla just got to outlast you, and he'll make it through,
Yeah, but as me and Jerry said last night, we're just going to take some of the severed limbs from other people, rip their bones out, and use them as weapons.
This isn't the 8th MS team.
This reminds me of? The whole billion lions thing and how I make people mad.
Yes.
And but it's a billion lions though. And they're like, but this Pokemon, I'm like, but a billion's a big number, And they're like getting madder, and I'm like, you don't understand. I'm kidding.
Well, what if it's a saber lion?
Maybe.
Oh, then he's even better.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
can a billion saber lions be there?
Spin Dash, is this how 2001 started? Yes, technically.
But he's like, what if the monkey turns into a giant robot?
My favorite part, though...
I mean, then we're screwed. If the gorilla turns into a giant robot, everything's over at that point.
Well, this is the best part, guys. So this whole discussion about the 100 guys, guys versus the gorilla. So it was happening for like 3 whole days. And I said, yo, Jerry, you seeing these great-ass fucking memes? And wait, it's been happening for 3 days and I've never seen any of them? And Jerry was like, send me the original tweet. And I go, there you go, here's the keys to the kingdom. And about, 5 seconds in, I'm just hearing Jerry, like, screaming hysterically at all the memes and GIFs that people made regarding that one joke.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Can we take on Optimal Optimus? Because, like, if...
Yes.
No.
Easily.
Okay,
Optimal Optimus has plot armor, so he doesn't die, but he's got so many weaknesses that you can easily take him. Until Megatron gets the body, in which case then you're screwed.
I'd be in awe of him even if I could. I'd be like, because I love oh my goodness, I begged for an Optimal Optimus as a kid.
So cool.
The only way we'd be able to beat guys. The only way we'd be able to beat Optimal Optimus is if he is Megatron, and then we just have to believe we are Optimus Primal,
we're him.
And then just believe we're fighting himself. Yeah, we just got to be on him,
and then fight ourselves. And hopefully we don't jump in with him like he did in the show.
Yeah.
No. We got to create the great convergence, man.
With all the Dinobots and shadows running at us.
Yes. Because listen, man, Bob Skier, gave us good insight on how to defeat Megatron. He gave us great.
Let's see. Hellfire says if Xenoblade taught me anything, no matter how strong the gorilla is, they aren't immune to topple lock. That's true. And Mr. Tanuki said, you win the match, but then the new villain defeats you to establish how strong he is.
Yep.
That sounds
Dragon
about
Ball
right.
and Baki logic.
Oh, yeah. All right. Last week on the channel, I had a couple cool videos, both Blu-ray reviews, both Tokusatsu Blu-ray reviews. That was just kind of fun. I don't really have anything, pressing to say about either, besides what was in the video.
Well, what about the mysterious, the missing Ultraman card?
Oh yeah, everybody's missing the card that was supposed to come with the Zet Blu-ray, and some people have emailed Mill Creek and haven't heard back yet. I'm waiting to see if people actually get responses before bothering to do it myself. But yeah, I mean that was pretty much it. That was pretty fun.
Did you pre-order Street Fighter Animated Series Blu-ray?
No, I didn't. No? I want to get it, but I was like, I'm gonna wait for a Crunchyroll sale because I realized ultimately I've never watched the show.
well then, Santa, you're a loser.
Yes,
you're a loser.
Also, my media OCD order was already like $120 there, so I was like, you know what? Let me get Street Fighter later. What are you talking about? Street Fighter USA.
The USA cartoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When Ryan started saying you're a loser, I just started having Godzilla Final Wars flashback. The kid with the fat kid that looked like metal.
Oh, the one playing with the toys and he throws one of them in the fire.
And
like, do you know how much that toy costs?
Into the fire.
Yeah. Why would you throw a camera into the fire?
Mark.
Jeremy Carr says, do you think Crunchyroll will have that Jan person misprint? Probably. I think it's the whole print run.
Wait, what's the Jan person?
It's very minor. There's like there was a little bit of a Ryan, not Ryan, an image overlap. I read your name in the chat. My brain just was like, Ryan had the overlap. No, it was just a little bit of an image overlap. And so like the O and N on Jan person on the spine is like slightly covered. Like,
okay.
I wouldn't have noticed if no one had pointed it out.
Look, he fights for justice. We don't mind if his logo's misprinted.
Yes.
Right?
He's like, he's still getting Darkstalkers. As long as that name is put on product, I buy it.
Even if it's the US cartoon.
I don't care what it is.
Regret it. Gonna regret it.
I at least have seen the Darkstalkers cartoon, so I'm knowingly buying crap. Whereas, like with Street Fighter, I don't know how it is, in actual practice. But also, it's just like it's one of those things where I was like, I can wait on it.
We're good.
And if Street Fighter sells out and it's like gone forever, suddenly my life's gonna be the same. Like it's not really affecting me that much. It's just on the slipcover. It's not on the insert. It's very minor. It's very, very minor.
Say the Z spine does bug me. It's like no, it's like
yes.
If only they could move the series box like only a bit lower. It's like it's one of those OCD moments. It's like it's almost there, but is it perfect?
Yeah, I look at the spines and I'm trying to tell myself stop worrying about this. It still bugs me.
Listen, if I get spine, you guys can't get a good spine.
That's fair. All right, and then last week for shorts.
I mean, you want to see the worst kind of version of that I saw.
Oh, okay.
My partner showed me because he's getting the JoJo, those big JoJo volumes now, those big like hardcovers. But like the story got them one. He got them. One was the old printing of the Shonen Jump Advance logo and the old Viz Media logo on it, and then the volume 3 has the new SJ Shonen Jump SJ logo and the new Viz logo. So it just looks out of place in the middle.
If you think that's bad, I have an older printing of Dragon Ball Viz Big 1 that is 4 centimeters shorter than the new printings of all the other volumes.
Oh god!
No idea why. It's just a little shorter. Oh god! Hellfire said it could be worse. It could be the Transformers IDW in Phase 1 hardcovers where the spines are slightly misaligned on the spines for no other reason than spite. It's like how Sonic IDW 1 is completely laid out different than the spines for 2 to 5.
Yeah, it's like wow.
It's so weird. Anyways, last week on shorts, I didn't make a Tuesday one because I was feeling kind of crap. So I just made a Thursday one.
You're sick. You're sick.
I was sick. I was like, I'm not making a short. My voice sounds terrible. I'm better now, so that's But I just did the Marvel Legends wave. The mini wave.
Isn't that Ron figure so good?
He's beautiful. He's like the cool. Like I said in the short. I don't know how anything this year's going to top him. I think he's like already the best Marvel Legend of the year.
Him and Max Spidey are like some of my favorite and the Comic Miles are some of my favorite figures to pose.
Yeah, I really like the Comic Miles a lot. I like that whole wave. It's like a really good wave.
The Comic Miles only frustrate because I don't like. I feel like some people like I take the mini comic too seriously. Oh, let's take away the budget for it. It's a piece of slab, people. It's not.
They didn't increase the price, and everybody still comes with full accessories. So it's like
but like Miles, like maybe because after having Max Spidey, but like Miles, like I wish he had more hands. It's scenario.
I wish he had toe joints. That's my main thing. Is I wish he had toe joints.
No, definitely.
Because I think that's like that crouching pose I'm trying to do there. If I could do that with toe joints, ooh.
Yeah, no, because he has a really great hip articulation. Like he's as posable as Max Spidey in terms of range. He's great.
As Jeremy Carr mentioned, please hit the like button if you haven't already. It really helps support the stream and gets it out there. That's a really good wave. I'm getting my Max Spidey today. So
how's you like Wolverine's bastard son?
I'm very happy with that docking. I love that stupid character for some reason. So I'm pleased.
Does the Wolverine head fit on that mold?
It would, but that's not the right costume.
Oh, okay.
So
close.
So close. The other PSA thing, just to check in on it. The Transformers Compendium Kickstarter has 8 days to go. It's got $3.1 million so far, which is insane, and I'm pretty impressed. So we've gotten to the point where they are including, let's see, where are we at with the stretch goals? So now they're going to be including a Transformers number 5 comic. So there's the Transformers number 5 reprint, which is that's the famous one with Shockwave on the front. And you can get a free, it comes free with the pledge. And if you want, you can add on a version without the logo on it, which I think is personally stupid because the cover is reading "The Transformers are all dead" when you just take the Transformers part of it out. It's just, "are all dead" is not a sentence.
Wait, who are you talking about? Who are you talking to, Shockwave?
Exactly. They also added 2 more tech spec cards by each artist, and they're going to do votes on who those characters will be. And at 3,300,000, they're going to include a physical, with all physical tiers, they're going to include a reprint of Transformers number 2. And I think they did that because that's like the big Megatron Optimus fight issue. So they kind of did this with G.I. Joe. Some people were like, why are they including like solo printings of certain comics? They did this with G.I. Joe. I kind of find it nice because sometimes I just want to read the silent issue. And it's nice to just pull the single issue instead of my 1,200 page book.
They're also like, they're not really meant to be read. They're meant to be like, you're supposed to frame them practically.
Yeah, they're kind of fun bonuses. But they are nice to read. I mean, I just read the silent issue again recently and I just pulled that. It was easier than flipping to it. The voting's already live? Okay, I'm going to go do that now. Ryan, while I do this.
Speaking of... Oh, wait, let me read the people in our chat.
Yes.
We have Blade Raider, Collector K9, James World, Jeremy Carr, Josh Ferrick, Logic Blaster, Mateki, Mr. Tanuki, Santa Richard Donnie, Spin Dash, Hellfire, and Zeljax. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
If I missed, if I missed you, shout, just holler in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, Logic Blaster, welcome.
They added more options this time for the poll. I can finally vote for Nightbeat.
Nice. Welcome, Axel Ranger.
Sorry, I don't want to like spin the vote, but everybody vote for Nightbeat.
Welcome, Mr. Arrowverse. Speaking of Transformers, have you got your Omega Prime yet?
He's out for delivery, but he hasn't shown up yet.
Well, if he comes in during stream, if that
he
happens,
might.
you need to do
I'm not going to do a live unboxing though because this is not the setup for that.
We don't need a shattering live.
Why is Cheetor an option on this poll? He doesn't even show up in the comics.
This is the Cyber
because he has your power.
And Ultra Magnus is on here twice, and Wheeljack is on here twice. All right, voting for Whirl. Anyways, I'm not complaining. I'm just gonna get this done. And can I still not vote for Thunder? Oh, finally they added Thunderwing. Thank you. They didn't have Thunderwing on the last one. I'm like, how could you not? How could you not have Thunderwing in the Marvel comics? Like, come on.
They did.
You can finally get it.
Yes.
If they were to make a new Thunderwing, what class do you think he should?
Commander.
Be? Yeah.
They made me wait this long. They have to make me they have to give me the whole thing.
Me and Soundout said either Commander or be ridiculous to make a Titan, be the Stormbringer armor, and then make it that like the regular one plugs in like he's like a power up. Like,
we'd be like I can see it be under like the Star Convoy like smaller price point maybe. Then
that's fine too. Whatever it is, I want they've made me wait so long for a new Thunderwing. I want the full thing. I want him to come with the double pretender stuff. I want him to have the smaller robot. I want him to have the Matrix of Leadership. I want all of it. Like you made me wait like a decade for this toy. Like, come on.
Like, I just want the Stormbringer one, and I just want a good version of his base form, which is really like they would knowing their dumbasses nowadays, they're just gonna grab a Geoxys mold and Vector Prime mold and just be like, there you go, Thunderwing.
Yeah. Anyways, let's see, where were we at in the show here? Oh, for everyone that hasn't gotten a tracking number for Omega Prime, Hasbro Pulse told me 3 days after it shipped that it shipped. I recommend getting a FedEx delivery manager account. It's free. It's also handy because anytime a FedEx tracking number is put into the system that is your address, they send you an email. And they're like, here you go. This is coming to your house.
The Shopify app is also pretty good. So
yes.
With that, because mine's saying it's coming tomorrow. For example, because it just tracks the tracking number.
Yeah, Shopify's pretty great at that too. If you're waiting for Hasbro to tell you, Hasbro's going to tell you like too damn late because that's just how it goes.
Also, I'll tell you, PSAs in terms of you do have getting your Omega Prime today, tomorrow, whatever. We won't say it now because
I got a video coming up.
You got a video for it, but there's some QC issues and there's a way to prevent it. I recommend if you want to know how to, you want to know now to prevent those issues, join our Discord and go to the Cybertron channel. We pin all the fixes for those QC issues for them. So feel free to check. Feel free to join and check those out. It's helpful so your Omega Primes don't crack.
Mm-hmm. Kaiju 54, the Ultraman Z card, I believe Collector K9 emailed them and they said they were going to send out a card. So if you want one, you should probably talk to them. As Hellfire said, yeah, call Hasbro support and tell them that you have a QC problem because somebody did, and then Hasbro's like, we didn't know there was an issue because they don't troll around message boards looking for the problem. If you want to get a solution, you need to contact the company, and that way they can have it on record in their system. Also, welcome Falcons Tech.
Like it comes to if your Omega Prime comes out like that, because that's saying some like I see some people crack theirs like just transforming it, but some reports are out of the box. If it's out of the box, you gotta contact right away for that.
Yep, I'm going to go through all the QC stuff in the video. I've switched up the style of video. I was going to just do like a straight review, but now it's going to be an unboxing and discussion about QC. So,
Logic Blaster. So that's what we're going to the Star Trek try order from one company.
Probably not. It's out of my price range, and I don't usually buy props stuff. But it looks great.
You don't buy prop stuff. So look at all your role play stuff in your toy room.
Yeah, those are technically toys. But no, like when I say prop stuff, I mean like in the several $100s. This looks exactly like the prop they used on screen type thing. Like,
how do you how do you have how much Star Trek like role play toys do you have?
I've got a good handful, but they're in a box I can't find, which is frustrating. Because I got an original series tricorder, original series phaser. I got a couple original series communicators. I have a few TNG phasers. All of them are in one box. That box just like vanished, and I'm like, "Where's it at?"
What's your favorite phaser design?
I really like the Kelvin phaser because it's the only one that has a distinguishing feature on whether or not it's in stun or kill. Because it has like a rotating barrel with like the blue tip is the stun and the red tip is.
I like that.
Your phaser to stun. Oh, why'd you kill that guy?
Yeah, it's funny because it happened in Lower Decks once. I think like Mariner accidentally like stunned a guy, and they're like, "Good thing you had set to stun." She's like, "Yeah, totally knew it was on stun."
Was it TNG that had them? This look like TV remotes, right?
Yeah, there's a few different versions of it, and it's funny because you can never like physically tell if it's in stun and that's also so there's just one prop. But since like the Kelvin movies had the budget, they have this cool like barrel, so it's like when they're in default, it's like in stun, and they can just like push a button and it flips the barrel around to kill, and it's just like, so cool.
It's like a Toku weapon.
Yeah, it's like a Toku weapon. Yeah, I think that's why I like it so much.
David, how did QC show up before the final product? QC happens no matter that's the name of QC. Here's the thing about QC. No matter how big expensive the item is, even if it's a premium product, it will still happen. QC is just because every toy is made in the factory, and sometimes there's gonna be one batch that's gonna be sadly bad. That's just how it works. Like no matter how.
And if you're rushing your product out to get ahead of the tariffs, it can also increase the potential of QC problems.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's
because I think that's like, what happened here. That's my theory. I have no evidence. I just have vibes.
Especially
but I kind of.
It's essentially how like super abrupt. It's not.
I got the email saying if you need to change your. I got the you need to change your address email 2 hours after I got my FedEx tracking number.
Spin dash, does it count as QC issue or port? Little A and little B, because as people have discovered by opening up, the design is like it's weird because they're doing plastic ratchets, even though like they really shouldn't, because
ratchets usually are spring loaded. They're not usually just like a row of plastic like knobs, basically.
And that's the thing is the problem with those kind of ratchets, especially if they put too much force, it'll eventually just break down because it's plastic, not such like that.
Yeah,
and I think that's more definitely poor design. Other stuff like tolerances, that's definitely more of a QC thing. I feel.
I think Falcon's Tech Omega Prime's production timeline lines more or less with the last two Haslab's theory that they rushed to beat Terrace and Lamb. I think the theory that I have is less so that they rushed the production and more that they rushed the shipping, because usually with Haslab, and this has been, and you guys know because there's like two of them in the background. I do a lot of Haslab. Every Haslab has been like, here's an email, you have a month to change your address, and then they email you once a week to be like, change your address, change your address, change your address. This was the first time where I got the change your address email after the tracking number. And that was the sign to me that they did rush it. I don't know if they rushed production. I think they definitely rushed shipping because it's been inconsistent. Usually, like, the last few it was regional, now it's just like, everybody's just randomly getting it. I had a friend get his 2 days ago, and his shipped after mine, and we live in the same city. So it's like, it's just all over the places. It's all over the place.
I mean, Falcon Tech is very good point. Yeah, has fired a lot of people at Edge. So
oh no, that's 100%. I think the layoffs are 100% of the cause for all of these issues, because when you go from a company that has thousands of people working on every toy, and then you whittle it down to hundreds, things are not going to work. Like, just plain and simple. That's just how it is. All right, Jamie's World.
$10 regarding Mill Creek's missing item and Hasbro's QC issues and issue how these companies overlook these issues or bypass them as business are totally incompetent plus bad reputation. Is this a lot of times when it comes to QC with anything, video games, toys, or anything, they usually have people at the factories to check them. They always want to double check before they could ship it out. And sometimes, especially with the economy right now, sadly, those jobs are usually the first to get fired. Sadly, that's the
yes. If you are a person making decisions off of a spreadsheet, which that's every corporation and every executive, a job like someone that checks the product before it goes out is deemed redundant and irrelevant. And so a lot of times, and in the case of Mill Creek, they're a company that produces very cheap product, so they never pay for people like that to do it. With Hasbro, they were paying for those people, and they decided to axe them out of the company. And that's the thing, is like when Hasbro's like, we fired 1,000 people, it's not like executives, it's not designers at first. It's your low-level people. It's your clerks, your QC checkers, your people that would go over and look at all that. Like Falcon's Tech said, it's a balancing act. As all companies are constantly dancing on the line of the bare minimum of what's acceptable to the consumer. It is always, can we get away with this? It's not that they're like, oh, we should do this or we're not going to do this. It's, can we get away with this, right? And you can see that some toy lines could not get away with it. Power Rangers Lightning Collection was one of them. The QC problems coming out of those plastic-free packaging was so widespread and so rampant that it created the narrative that, that created the narrative online in the collecting circle that line, you were not guaranteed to get everything the figure was supposed to come with, to the point where I had to make a whole YouTube series about it. I only ran into that issue once while doing that series, but the actual narrative of it absorbed the line, which made people not want to buy them anymore. And that's what ends up happening with a lot of these companies.
And that's the thing is, the way how these things work is usually is like a lot of these QC or production issues always because, the machine, because usually a lot of time it is a machine that is putting all these things in them with some assumptions. Oh, so and the machine screw up. There's gonna be times where they inject the mold 1% or the top and all that stuff. So and
that's why you usually have like human people stepping in and checking the machine's work, right? But a lot of these companies, like Hasbro, have been so embracing like AI to replace jobs because AI doesn't cost anything for them, that there are also maybe some of those things coming into place as well. And that's just kind of like that's essentially like why all this is happening. And that's the best we can like surmise from this point. We should move on. Also, Mr. Fuki did bring up the giant man eye getting botched up. Yep. Yeah, it's
so this isn't the first time. This isn't the first time Haslab had a major problem like this.
Won't be the last either. I guarantee it.
I mean, all the Haslabs. I don't think there's one Haslab that was perfect out of the box.
His tank.
Maybe Death Stars have his tank. I don't remember any QC or any problems with those two.
I never heard anything about the his tank. That's just kind of like, but yeah. We need to move on though because we could be on this all day. Maybe this even needs to be a live stream topic. Ooh, yeah, there we go.
I mean, did you haven't record? You didn't record your Omega Prime thing yet, right?
No, because I don't have it yet.
Yeah, so that could be. I mean, that could just be added to the video.
This could be part of this. All right, cool. I just wrote down notes for something for later. All right. Yeah. Also, Falcons Tech mentioned that since the pandemic, Hasbro's increasingly relying on their manufacturing partners and don't send reps out there nearly as much. I know for the first couple years, they couldn't. Like, nobody was allowed to come into China or Vietnam to look over the stuff. I know Super 7 ran into that issue because they were shipping Thundercats figures, and people were like, why does stuff keep getting missed? And it's like, they said, we used to send somebody to go check everything before it was produced, and then now we have to wait for everything to be mailed back and forth, and the message doesn't always get, figured out. And so, by the way, guys, we're not doing a debate on like AI in the chat today. Don't got the energy. So the thing is that for a while they couldn't send anybody, and Hasbro, with the way they've been cost cutting, probably was like, well, it worked out okay not sending anybody. Let's not send anybody anymore. That's my guess on that. Mm-hmm. But let's talk about different things because it's time to move into the movie and TV show review section of the stream.
The last thing is it's that's why Earth Fries kind of suck after Wave 1 because that was the brunt of the COVID production and all that stuff.
Yes. All right, moving on. Okay, so I went and saw Sinners this weekend because it came out last weekend, and everybody was like talking about how great it was, and I was like, "Is it really that great?" I expected it to be great. It was Ryan Coogler writing and directing, so I was like, this is going to be great. It was great. I went out and saw it on Friday. I just went by myself. It was fun.
It's a vampire movie, which I didn't know about.
I didn't know it was a vampire movie either until an hour into it, because I had heard about the movie.
It's funny, because I wasn't sure if it was a vampire movie or just straight up demons movie until people 100%.
It was both. The fun part about it is that I didn't hardly know anything about it going in because I didn't watch the trailer. I didn't pay attention to the marketing. I just kind of heard about it in peripheral senses, and I was like, I don't know what I'm getting into. I'm just gonna go see it, which is fun, honestly. Really terrific movie. Just visual production design. The directing was great. Everybody, the whole cast is just fantastic in their parts. There was this really amazing sequence in the middle of the movie that is gonna stick with me forever. And it was really good. It was also incredibly hard R rated. They call it Sinners for a reason. And it was really, really good. So I'm not gonna go into spoilers, obviously, because I want people to watch the movie for themselves if they're interested in it. But I definitely recommend checking it out if you've been considering watching it. If the topic has caught your attention, it's definitely worth seeing. I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, it was kind of fun too because I went to the theater and the ticket taker, she was just like, "Oh, all the sinners are in Auditorium 4," which is just a really funny way of phrasing it. And I was like, "What happens to the sinners after we go to Auditorium 4?" And she's like, "Oh, going to hell."
Exactly.
It was so great.
That's great.
Fun.
That's good because from here it's actually a period piece, right?
Yes, it is a period piece. Takes place in 1932. And Michael B. Jordan was fantastic. He plays more than one character here. He plays twins. It's awesome. Takes place in 1932. There's a lot of stuff in the movie that hits different if you know your history, which is really awesome. There's a lot of like really great like layers to it on top of it being like, you know, a vampire movie and a movie about the power of music and such. It's fantastic from top to bottom. I was just like, this is really great. I didn't have like I don't think I had any negatives about it. It's just really dang good. It's like sometimes I look and like, what did I not like about this movie? And I was like, no, I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
I'm really glad it's doing very well because especially it's it's a non IP film.
It's an original. It's an original film, original script. It's not based on a book or anything. And Ryan Coogler's family gets the rights to the whole like IP in 25 years because he signed a deal like that with Warner Brothers.
Oh, that's cool.
So like after 25 years, all the rights revert to the Coogler family. So that's pretty awesome.
That's a great deal.
Yeah. But yeah, if you have a chance to go see it in the theater, I recommend it in the theater.
The deal is bullshit, but like other deals have been like that before, so I don't understand why people act like
nobody gets those kind of deals anymore. Like you don't get those deals anymore, you know, because like
with this current industry, especially in this current industry,
you don't get those deals anymore. And like a lot of studios will buy scripts just to bury them and never have them made. So it's nice to see that.
You never forget. Fun fact for people, because fun fact, people.
Yeah.
Do you know that Nintendo owns a Mario adult film back in the 80s?
Yes.
For that alone.
They bought it so it could never be released. That happens all the time in the industry. Sometimes you'll like hear about a project, like, where'd that project go? And it's like, because the studio's like, we're going to make something similar, but we don't actually want that one to be out there and to show us up, so we're going to buy it and just make sure it never happens.
That would happen. If you know about those horrible movie parodies during the 2000s, that happened with those two directors where, like, they said from the writers, a scary movie, where in reality, the producers, I think it was Miramax bought the script they wrote for Scary Movie and just put them in the credits because they had to, because it's such like that. So when so there's giant asterisks to that statement scenario.
No, definitely. Yeah. So Sinner's great. I also went out to see Revenge of the Sith on Saturday because it was
out its 20th. How was that experience? Because I imagine that sound. Because I sadly couldn't because busy weekend.
I gotta tell you, I haven't seen this movie on a theater screen in 20 years, but I have seen this movie a dozen times or more in my life, and it emotionally affected me more this time, I think, than even the first time I saw it. For some reason, just being in a theater setting, it like the back half of the movie is just like incredibly like painful to watch. Like it's like emotionally devastating, and I'm like, why is it hitting me different now? I know how this all goes. I've seen this movie so many times. Why is it hitting different like this?
I think that's just how good Revenge of the Sith is.
Yeah, it really is. And
I think it was,
and they didn't have the popcorn bucket at my theater. But the thing that was interesting, and I saw this same sentiment on social media. People mentioned this as well. In the beginning part of the movie, like, the theater was kind of, like, laughing along with it and, like, cheering and, like, you know, some people were quoting lines and stuff and, like, the fun, like, Grievous, like, chase and all that. But when you get to that scene where, like, Anakin and Padme are, like, looking out the window with the sunset, like, happening, and it's, like, you know that, like, everything's gonna fall apart. Like, the theater just got quiet, and everybody just kind of got, like, really sad together. It was really cool. Like, that scene is so good, but it really locked everybody in. There wasn't, like, any of the crazy, like, you know, theater experiences where people trying to do memes out of it. People just got like emotionally locked in from that scene onward.
So was it a Minecraft? It wasn't a Minecraft experience?
It wasn't a Minecraft, no. It was funny because people were like, oh, another happy landing, but like but after that scene, everybody was just like,
question, how many hello there? What's it quoted in
plenty of those. Yeah.
I mean, that's great. How was it like to watch the beach?
Now, guys, is it only for this weekend, or is it going to be like for a while?
I don't know, because it was like it made like a ton of money. Let me go check the schedule.
Like I kind of want to go. I kind of want to see it just to get the goddamn bucket.
Yeah, I don't know. They didn't have the bucket at my theater. But
like, if someone wants to gift me that bucket, cool.
But yeah, what was your question, Ryan?
How was it like watching the theater? So to me, like, Star Wars movies, especially the prequel films, are like so different watching in theaters.
They really are. They're incredibly detailed movies. Looks like you have till Wednesday, Wheels.
Damn.
Yeah. So they're incredibly detailed movies. Like the thing like you watch it at home. Again, I've seen this movie a dozen times. I never noticed Luminara Unduli is on Kashyyyk, and it's so weird to me because like I was watching it in the theater. I'm like, was Luminara always there? And like several other people asked this question too. It's because she's dressed in green. She has green skin. She's standing next to two green clone troopers in front of a forest. I think when you watch it on a TV, she just kind of blurs into the background. But on the big movie screen, it's like, oh, hey, there's Luminara Unduli. Did Yoda leave her to die?
Well, as Hellfire said, like, is it me or does it seem higher quality than the version on Disney Plus?
Well, it is because that movie, on Disney Plus, it doesn't have the resolution it has on the 4K Blu-ray, let alone
that's the thing,
the resolution of a big screen.
And like, that's the thing. You mentioned when you meant because Avengers is only filmed on 4K, Star Wars filmed on 4K, right?
Yeah.
This one was actually made in 4K, or really made in 4K, if I understand right?
The resolution they outputted the visual effects at was essentially 4K, and so because there's a lot of reasons like a lot of movies aren't true 4K when they're from like the 2000s, that's like a lot of CG is because they rendered out the visual effects in like 1080p, so you can't get it up to 4K. It's all upscaling. Whereas like because they were going so hardcore with this movie. They were already in 4K resolution with their visual effects. When they went to put it on the 4K Blu-ray, it just went straight. They didn't have to do any upscaling. They didn't have to do any tweaking. It just kind of went straight for it. And so seeing it in theaters and seeing like that, the straight 4K like projected through the big projector and stuff, it was wild because it looked better than it had any other time I'd seen it. I don't know what it was. And also but it does make me realize that like, that's kind of the thing that lacks from some movies and why people are like, oh, I don't need to see it in the theaters. Cause they sort of make movies to be seen on a TV screen. Cause when you make something for a theater screen, you're putting as much detail as possible. So you're going to see stuff that you only see when the screen is 40 feet high.
There is the reason why the theater experience was a thing back in the day. Like it actually mattered.
Yeah. Because like I think Kaus, we've talked about it with some movies as well. It's like even if you see it in a theater, you're just like, well, that's kind of like the same as if I saw it at home, right? But
yep.
But there's some movies like I remember when I was seeing Dune 2 in IMAX, it was just like this, and I watched it at home. I'm like, this doesn't hit the same because the detail.
Well, remember the '90s and when I was growing up, watching a tape just ain't the same at all.
Yeah.
Compared to the theater,
the disparity between tape and like CRTs to like a movie theater screen, whereas nowadays
like
the
screen themselves and stuff, and the ratios. Because I remember at the back of the tape, this has been formatted to fit your screen.
Oh,
I'm the same way. I'm the same way with the Spider-Verse films. Honestly, I think those films were made to be in giant, high-quality movie screens and such.
You know what's a movie I've always wanted to see in theaters?
Mm-hmm.
I shit you not. I've always wanted to see this movie in theaters. But I don't think when they ever aired it, when they did the re-releases like they used to, I ever got to see it. But I want to see like the full Disney restoration of the original Snow White in theaters.
That'd be cool. Experience. And actually, that's going to be my main statement here. This movie made like $26 million in one weekend on a re-release of a movie you could watch at any time at home. This is just the ethos of my statement that Disney shouldn't be remaking their animated movies. They should just be re-releasing them.
Exactly.
Here's another thing. I think this is going to sound controversial. I feel like the movie experience should now mostly be about re-releases than new releases in some respect, because too many theaters.
I think we should do a mix of both, right?
Yeah, like do a mix, because the problem is we're putting out too many movies and then you put out too many blockbusters.
Yep.
At the same time as other studios, and you don't get it. But if you put out like, oh, we're gonna re-release this movie, then maybe you have a chance at having a genuine new flick beat out something.
And that's the thing. The number one movie at this past weekend, the number one movie was Sinners, and the number 2 movie was Revenge of the Sith. And then The Accountant 2 and Minecraft also both made a lot of money. Having a variety of movies boosted all of them. It got people going out to the theaters.
I think especially
our movie's great. Yes.
I think especially how good streaming how like the quality of streaming movies have like gotten to like back in the day, streaming movies were kind of like direct to DVD, like about the little
same with streaming shows, right? Like TV shows and movies weren't shot the same, but now they are.
Yeah, it's getting to the point where a streaming movie is no different from an in-theater movie and such like that. And also, as you said, with the whole, with the re-release films, every time Lion King gets re-released, doesn't it make always like $1 million? Like, always.
All the Ghibli movies always make money every time they re-release them, right? They do that like once a year. They do like the Fathom events or the Ghibli movies, and they always make bank. There's a lot of movies too. Like, I think that one of the biggest things is like we have a lot of these theaters with premium screens. IMAX re-releases of movies that weren't around, like you couldn't watch a movie like originally on IMAX because it didn't exist, but like you just re-release it on IMAX now because there's a 4K version of it. Like that's kind of the stuff that I think would really do good. Because I think there's been a few re-releases this year that have made money that makes me go like we should do more re-releases. This is the thing too. If you go back in like your film history. Disney throughout like the 70s and 80s, they were putting out original movies, but it's like if Oliver and Company kind of flopped, they'd re-release Snow White, or if like a Black Cauldron didn't do well, they'd re-release Cinderella. Like that was kind of their strategy, was just kind of re-release movies a whole lot.
This is the funny thing you're also forgetting was Universal and Disney.
Yeah.
And I believe Warner Brothers, they would just re-release like every 5 years classics because television wasn't even available. Like So ironically, right, Pinocchio flops. It's like it was a mid-World War II. They go, okay, let's re-release it now, about 9 years later or 10 years later in 1954, 1955 or whatever. And I'm mixing up my dates here. But that was my dad's first movie in theaters when he was like 3 or 5. But it did way more money when they re-released it post-World War II than it did, like, during its initial release.
Yeah, because sometimes movies miss their mark. Like somebody, was it Kaiju 954 said a re-release of Speed Racer? I think a re-release of Speed Racer in theaters in an IMAX would do better now than it did back then. Like I think it would double its money, like immediately, in like one weekend. You know what I mean?
2 would do better in a re-release now.
Yeah,
you have to have it that like every premiere has a Key and Peele sketch right before it.
Yeah. And you know what I think? I think before a studio decides we're going to remake a movie, re-release it first. See what the interest is. See how much money you make off of not having to put any money into it. You know, like imagine if they just re-released How to Train Your Dragon in IMAX instead of like remaking it and making it look worse.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like there's always that's the thing when it comes to releases. You always have to when it comes to like for example like. Yeah, we mentioned like that could get a good second life, but you need like I think it needs the timing matters because never forget Morbius.
Yep.
But then realized Morbius twice and it flopped twice.
I gotta say too, like there's some people that are like, oh, why do the Disney live action remakes keep making money if people don't like them? It's because I think like when they remake like Lilo and Stitch and put it in theaters. Are parents taking their kids to see Lilo and Stitch because they think the live-action remake looks better than the animated? No, they want to take their kids to see Lilo and Stitch like they saw Lilo and Stitch as a kid. If you just re-released Lilo and Stitch, you wouldn't be spending like several $100 million to do it, and you'd make a chunk of money off of that easily.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's I think a lot of times people like when. Ever a parent takes them to go see one of the live action movies, I don't think some people kind of underestimate how these parents don't really care. Like people think, I love Lilo and Stitch as a kid. My kid will love this movie, and so a lot of times it's like we need to go watch. We're a family, want to watch a movie, so we'll go to.
And there is the name recognition. The name recognition does a lot because look at Snow White. Why did Snow White flop? Is it because of the myriad problems with the movie and all that? Or is it because there is not a nostalgia base for Snow White the way there is for Lion King or the way there is for Aladdin?
Because it's old.
Because it's a lot older, anyway, yeah.
$5 from Jimmy's World. Think cinemas are dying. Think cinemas are a dying business if all day is release films. Will it make sense to release on Blu-ray or on streaming platform?
Well, that's kind of what they already do. But the whole conversation we're having with re-releases of movies, and especially like Revenge of the Sith here, this movie was hated when it came out. And it's loved now. Like, you can re-release a movie and you can really have, like, a completely different experience in the theater with people. You can have, like, a kind of resurgence of something. The idea of that, like, movie theaters have to only show new things is contributing to movie theaters dying because not everybody always wants to go spend money on a gamble, right? Why did Revenge of the Sith make a bunch of money? People already love this movie. So it's like seeing it in a better format, bigger format. It's kind of like a little bit of an event. It's like you go spend $15 to see Revenge of the Sith. You know that you're going to enjoy it, right? Versus like going to see a new movie that you've never seen before. What if you don't enjoy it and then you spend a bunch of money on it? That's the kind of thing that like re-releases can be very beneficial for studios. Not everything would have to be a blockbuster if they were making money off of re-releases of things from their catalog, therefore making up for any losses on original films they're putting out. That's my thought process of how it could be run. So yeah, Hellfire says I have a friend who doesn't keep up with films. When we went to see Revenge of the Sith, he was so confused by the How to Train Your Dragon remake and how it looked like a shot for shot. Yeah, every time I see the trailer, I'm just like, what is the point of this movie? You're just doing the same exact thing a second time. You would spend a lot less money re-releasing it, and you get the same benefit. Because the only benefit to remaking How to Train Your Dragon for Universal is to promote Epic Universe and the How to Train Your Dragon land there. That's the reason why they're doing the remake this year, is to promote the theme park. You could promote the theme park by just re-releasing the movie. Or re-releasing all 3 movies in like a marathon situation, like one a week or something.
Like, honestly, they do that for Toy Story. Honestly, I might do that, honestly. Because I never saw Toy Story. I was a baby when Toy Story, I was not existed in Toy Story 1, I was a baby in Toy Story 2. But, I saw Toy Story 3 in theaters. But, like, I would love to re-experience those films. I watched those films so much, but I would love to re-experience them in theaters and such like that.
I think a lot of people would. And
I got a question.
I think that guaranteed, I already like this thing, is a big selling point. Yeah, what's your question, Wills?
When they put the movie on, did they at least like put the original movie trailer before the release? Like, did they make it feel special?
They did make it feel special because Hayden Christensen walked out and said, "Thank you all for being here, and I hope you get to enjoy the movie again on a big screen." That felt special. This is
how I would do it. I would have special videos where people come out and thank like the making of, but I'd also try to put like special features, because if you put some special features in,
that's kind of a Fathom Events thing, and I think they own the trademark on that. Because Fathom Events does that. They'll do like when they do re-releases of like a classic movie, they'll attach like a 15-minute bonus feature to the end of the movie. That's kind of the thing that they'll do.
Yeah, because like that's how like I would love to see is just more like how Fathom does it, but standardized.
Because but I think that's a Fathom. I think Fathom owns like the patent for that, because I've never seen any other re-releases do that.
No, but that's all I'm saying. Is like that's also how you could get more people into theaters to go rewatch like old films, because like
be like, here's something exclusive to see. Like I think they did that with the Phantom Menace last year. They're like, there's going to be a 10-minute preview for Acolyte. Like that's something like you could do, is like kind of tie in promotions with stuff by adding exclusive things. So
yeah, no, you need like, because that's the thing. Like some movies, I would like to see, because like Ryan said, we weren't old enough to see them in theaters. Like, if someone told me right now I could go watch Godzilla 84 in a theater, and if they were like, yo, it's going to be playing alongside Biollante, I'm like, oh shit, already done. Tickets done. They're like, yo, 84 and Biollante? You just see me sign up. I'm like, all right, let me go listen to that Nazis music.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is I think like I've enjoyed...
If you don't know, a Nazi scored
Godzilla
versus Biollante.
Well, Dragon Quest as well.
There's a lot of Nazis,
but they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out.
They'll
figure it out. They'll figure it out, Jerry. That is the Dragon Quest guy is the Nazi I'm speaking of.
Circling back around, one of my favorite re-releases was seeing Transformers the movie in theaters.
Oh yeah.
And walking out of the movie theater with my ears buzzing like I'd just been to a metal concert. That was magical.
Yeah, because that is 87. It is just a rock concert, the movie.
It is, and but they had the speakers cranked up. I felt like I walked out of a concert movie. It was amazing.
Were people?
I cannot get that experience at home.
Were people seeing Dare when it appeared in your showing?
Oh yeah, people were singing all the Sam Bush songs. That was great. It was funny. We talked about re-releases, and there was the MC used to do this thing where they would have these like week-long movie marathons where they would re-show all the movies in a phase before like the Avengers movie would come out. And there was, I think, phase 2, I missed a lot of those movies in theaters, and I just like spent a week at the theater like watching all the movies I hadn't seen in theaters. And that was like really, really fun. So I kind of wish they do that again, honestly. All right. In the world of TV, Andor premiered this week. My favorite other cake. I already had Daredevil, now I got Andor. This show's really good, but I gotta tell you, this is the most you gotta pay attention to it show of all time.
Yeah.
It's really funny watching it because I'm like, if you're not locked in, like watching and paying attention to the dialogue and the characters and what they're doing, you're just going to be like, what is going on? It's not one of those shows that's going to like, give you a lot of exposition on stuff. It's just going to be like, we're going to show you things happening and you're going to follow it or you're not. Like the show does, that's probably like my only negative for it because it makes it really inaccessible. But it's really damn good still. The quality's there. They're on a bit of an accelerated timeline this season because Season 1 was like an entire year, whereas this season, every 3 episodes is a year. And so I think that's really cool. But like Ben Mendelsohn's back as Director Krennic, and that just makes me happy because he's a delight anytime he's in anything. And he plays villains really, really well. There was a lot of stuff. I really liked it. I know some people said the episodes ran a little long. I could have taken an entire season of the storyline, but that's because I'm a bit of an addict when it comes to Andor. But I'm really enjoying it. It's great, and I can't wait for the next batch of episodes. But I gotta say, if they're gonna keep dropping 3-hour-long episodes, drop them earlier than 9 p.m. That's way too late in the day to be doing that. Like bump that time back. If it was just one episode at 9 p.m., sure, but like, why are you dropping 3 hours of stuff at 9 p.m.? That's ridiculous on a Tuesday.
For you, the Tuesdays are for you. It was the most exciting day of your life. For me, it was a Tuesday.
Yeah. For me, I have to watch 2 episodes of Andor on Tuesday and 1 on Wednesday because it just gets too late in the day to try to watch all 3 at once. But yeah. Anyways, I'm enjoying this. I just wanted to talk about that. Also, I'm enjoying Doctor Who this season a whole lot. I think
I need to catch up because I've been very busy, so I wasn't able to watch the season yet.
Yeah, I've been. I don't spend a lot of time in fan circles. I don't know how people are receiving this season. I'm loving it. This is like one of my we've had 3 episodes so far. I've enjoyed the hell out of all of them. I think it kind of like it fixed a lot of the rough bumps in season 1 and really just is kind of like smoothing out a little bit. And
yeah, because I'm
really enjoying like just so many elements they added to this. Like there's a thing they started doing where it's like the Doctor and Belinda go somewhere and then they're like, well, we need different clothes, and they go like running through a hall to get clothes and they run out in the outfits they need. I'm just like, that's so Tokusatsu. I love it.
Yeah, because I really like the first season of Shitty Watts era, but like there definitely was some growing pains, I guess the best way to describe it from what I understand.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the issue with season 1 was that Shooty wasn't in 2 episodes. Like,
yeah.
Out of 8 episodes, he wasn't there for 2 of them. And then he also wasn't given like any good drama to work with because he was kind of like off of that like by generation, like, oh, I've already worked through all my trauma, I'm good to go. And this season, like episode 1 just kind of hits him with something, and I'm just like, there we go. Got some pathos going on. I got some pathos, and
how's the new companion?
Oh, I love Belinda. No shade to Ruby Sunday, she's sweet, but like Belinda is the kind of companion I like to have in Doctor Who.
Yeah, from what I've seen,
because in the trailer they put this in there. She wants to go home. She does not want to go on intergalactic adventures with this crazy man in his blue box. She wants to go home, but the plot says you can't go home, and so she's like, I'd really like to go home now, and I really like that drama. It's good.
Yeah, because from what I could tell, it feels like she has I don't know. She vibes more with Shooty's Doctor a lot more than because again Ruby was I think Ruby was fun, but I don't know, it feels like this one there's a lot more.
Ruby kind of feels like Rose.
I do a lot of Rose. Yeah, Rose.
Whereas Belinda's more of a Martha.
Definitely.
And I love Martha. So I'm like, I'm really liking Belinda in this. And also she's a nurse, so they're kind of playing with this whole like doctor and nurse angle thing, which I think is really, really fun. Episode 2 was amazing. Episode 2 was amazing. I loved it. Also, you know what? I'm actually gonna look her name up because I've been butchering it every time I talk to people. I need to remember her name because Verada Sethu who plays Belinda. She's also in Andor. She is fantastic in both shows.
Really?
And, and they're airing at the same time, and it's just like on Saturdays she's Belinda, on Tuesdays she's I forgot her Andor name, but I really did like. I really like her, and I think she's fantastic, and I hope she gets more work beyond just, Andor and Doctor Who. I hope she pops up in more stuff, because she's a terrific actor, and she really brings a lot to both shows, honestly. So, any questions, comments about Doctor Who before we move on?
How was the animated episode?
Amazing. It's so good. Like,
they mentioned this doctor's a Digimon fan.
Yes. He mentioned that his favorite things growing up as a kid were Digimon, Pokemon, and Cardcaptor Sakura, which is really fun. Yeah, no, it's been great.
Secrets of the cloud, hold the mystery.
What else? I think that's about it that I can say without spoiling anything. But I really like the show. I'm excited for the next episode. Also, Ruby's back in the next episode. So that'll be kind of fun too.
Oh, that's great. Actually, that's good. Wow, it's kind of nice to have a companion come back this early.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty cool. All right, let's get to our news. Because we got some news. I mean, it's not like a ton of news. Everything's a little slow right now in terms of what we normally cover on the channel, because like, for example, Bandai has halted pre-orders on Figuarts for the US.
Yeah, because because we haven't got any of the a US pre-order for any of the newer Figuarts have been announced the past couple of months and weeks, and I definitely is a tariff scenario, I imagine.
Yes. Welcome, Commander 64. Preternia, I think, reached out to Bandai, and Bandai said we put US pre-orders on hold for Tamashii product.
Okay.
And I think that's because of the tariffs. Because when it comes to like, for example, for Hasbro, right? Hasbro's got to figure out the logistics on that, but their main targeted market is the US, right? Bandai's main targeted market is Japan, and so they have to then take Japan and how the prices work there, and then also adapt the prices here so that they're still coming out on top with all the currency changes and stuff. And with the stock market fluctuating like a crazy pendulum at times, but mostly dropping, what's going to be the value of the US dollar when these products come out? On top of what tariffs do they have to pay when the products come out? And Bandai has to figure that out to set a price on something that doesn't come out for 6 months. That's really hard.
Because what doesn't help is not every Figuarts made in the same factory.
Yeah.
Some Figuarts are made in Vietnam, some are made in China, and that's gonna be a problem when
dealing with the exchange rate is a big thing too. If the US dollar becomes weaker than the yen, they have to price the US dollar up higher. If the US dollar is going to be stronger than the yen, then they can price the US dollar lower. Like, it's a lot, and so I wouldn't expect any Figuarts to be going up for order for another month or so.
So if you really want your Figuarts pre-order, you had to go to like stuff like HOJ or Hobby Genki or Ninja Games.
Oh wait, you're saying that I have to? So now I'm screwed out of the Goju Wolf pre-order.
You were always screwed out of Goju Wolf. They weren't bringing that one over here. What do you think?
They sometimes sneak that one over.
They do not. They do not sneak Sentai over. Sentai does not come over. See you later, Lodge Blaster.
Also,
I'm still in pre-order at Ami. I guess I'll go get him.
Well, I'm not sure about other places, but I do. HLJ, I know. Email.
Yeah, HLJ is doing EMS shipping only now.
Only because I'm sadly, I guess DHL and all like FedEx were like we're opted out because of the whole tariff stuff. So
there's been issues of like DHL will pick up a package and then tell the customer, you got to pay us a fee now, and HLJ doesn't want that blowing back on them. Yep. Paul Trex, just the US for all this stuff. If it's still going, other countries that get Figuarts and stuff doesn't seem to be affected. I know that also is complicated because they don't get everything in other regions, but right now the US is affected. They're not putting anything up. Nothing's going up on P Bandai for it. Like, I think the only P Bandai stuff that's been going up is the card games and the Gunpla, because those are made in Japan, so they know the logistics better that way.
I probably should go make my pre-order then.
Yes, you should. Also, you should be pre-ordering Goju Wolf from an import site, period, because there's no U.S. release. The Tamashii site never said it would have one. So,
all right.
Yeah. Anyways,
I wasn't sure if it was going to come over because
they don't. They
out some of the other Sentai.
They have not brought over a single Sentai Figuart of the Reiwa era. They've not brought any of them over.
Because of
Hasbro. Hasbro does not let them do that. Saban, when Saban owned Power Rangers, they were fine about it. But Hasbro has not allowed it at all. We have not gotten anything since Sentai Figuarts provided. The last Sentai Figuart we got a US release was Aka Ranger, the original, like way back. None of the others have come over. So Muteki says Goju Wolf is still available for pre-order, so should go get it.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go pre-order it.
All right. Let's see. Let's get to it. Blu-ray news. Shout Factory and Scream Factory announced their July titles. There's Battle Beyond the Stars in 4K. Strangers with Candy on Blu-ray. Last Voyage of the Demeter on 4K Steelbook. That reminds me. It's still sitting here for me to watch. I need to watch that like maybe this weekend. Still haven't seen it. The RoboCop 2 4K is getting re-released in a Steelbook. What?
I pre-order Omega 2 or just wait for it to come over here?
I just pre-ordered Omega at Amiami because I don't know when they're going to bring it out over here.
Wait, which
Ultraman Omega.
Omega? Yeah.
If you really want it, I'd say just get it.
But that one, it will come out because there's no Ultraman. Yeah, all the Ultraman stuff does come out.
It will come out here. It's just it's a matter of when, not if. Whereas with Goju Wolf, it's not coming. So
yeah.
Okay. RoboCop 2's 4K is getting re-released in a Steelbook. The Wallace and Gromit Cracking Collection 4K, which I will warn you is terrible, is coming out again. It will not be.
It has the Blu-ray at least.
It has, but the Blu-ray's it's not a good Blu-ray either. The Blu-ray copy is the 4K transfer. So this is going to be just the first 2 discs of that set that I talked about in the Blu-ray haul from last year. It's just the one that comes with the shorts in 4K and Blu-ray. No Were Rabbit, no extra bonus disc. I recommend the regular Blu-ray with the orange cover. It's much better.
Hopefully that's in print.
It's still in print. You can still get it. You can still get it. It's just it keeps selling out. Good. It keeps selling out on Amazon, but you can still get it. But basically,
it's one of those worried. It's one of those worried because especially since this comes with a Blu-ray, it's kind of worried that this might replace that one.
This might replace it eventually. If you want to get the better one, I would get it sooner than later. If you want the original Cracking Collection Blu-ray with the orange cover, get it sooner than later. I think this is going to replace it eventually. Grave of the Fireflies is getting a Steelbook in Blu-ray. Abigail's getting a 4K Blu-ray. Alexander Revisited the Final Cut on 4K Blu-ray and Primary Colors on 4K Blu-ray. I'm really impressed. Shout has been pumping out a lot more titles lately. They're really doing a lot of stuff, which is impressive. Adding to this, Shout Studios is going to do a new sub-label. Scream Factory is like their horror sub-label. They got Hong Kong Cinema Classics, which, can you guess it, is Hong Kong Cinema Classics. Which is also cool.
That's Jerry's territory right there.
Yeah. So they've announced currently in July will be the Jet Li collection. And they will have Ringo Lam's City on Fire in August and Sweetheart's Pecking Opera Blues in September. And then here's the details on the Jet Li collection, which is going to be 5 movies here, which we have, let's see. It is going to be Fist of Legend, Tai Chi Master.
Fist of Legend is one of my favorite.
Oh, is Fist of Legend really good?
Tai Chi Master, I have that one's great too.
Nice. Fong Sayuk.
Fong Sayuk 2. Yep. If you don't know, he had this whole thing where he played
a Chinese folk hero?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then The Bodyguard from Beijing is the 5th one.
Which I've only seen
once. Hey, I like that one. I watched that one on Amazon a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
Fist of Legend alone is worth it, honestly.
Isn't the one with the Bodyguard from Beijing the one where he has the kid with him the entire time? He's the kid's bodyguard or whatever that shit's
witness to a gangland murder falls for the bodyguard hired to protect her.
Okay, I'm confusing it with another. There's another Jet Li movie where he's like this little child, like this boy's bodyguard. He did 2 bodyguard movies.
So this set is 4K and Blu-ray for all 5 movies. Currently, list price is $130, which is not too bad, honestly, for 4K these days. So yeah, I expect more to come from this, but it's nice to see Shout is expanding their lineup and also giving more. I think sub-labels at media companies is kind of a good thing. It helps, like, kind of immediately tell the customer this is what this is, basically, right? Same thing like Discotek, where they have like Nihon Nights and Toku Time and all that.
Your old school Media Blasters, where some of their H titles got mixed in with their live action titles because that's how they were.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Universal has announced that Murder, She Wrote is coming to Blu-ray, all 12 seasons in a 32-disc box set, coming out in May. Which does seem like it's going to be an MOD type thing, like they've done with some other shows. Because it hasn't got it for pre-order yet. But 32 discs for all 12 seasons of Murder, She Wrote. Which, I also like this description, because it's just like, look how great this show was. It's a winner of 4 Golden Globes, and it was nominated for 12 consecutive Emmy Awards for Best Actress in a Drama for Angela Lansbury. Because this show is great. It's really dang good. And yeah, I'm excited about this. Does it come with the TV movies? No idea yet, because we have no details. All we've heard is that we're getting a complete series set. It says 1984 and 1996. I don't know if that's just Blu-ray.com putting that info in, or if that is like the actual description. If it is up to 1996, it's not going to include the TV movies, but I kind of have a feeling that it will, because it's just 4 extra TV movies just slapped on the end. And if not, I guess they would just put out like a TV movie collection. Universal's been pretty good about doing like complete sets. I know with Incredible Hulk, they had to separate the TV movies for legal reasons. I don't know if that's the case here. But this is exciting, because I like this show, and I'm excited about it. That's why it's in the news. Spin Dash says, good use of the high-capacity Blu-ray format. The DVD version is 63 discs. Yeah, that's why I always say, like, even if, stuff is in SD, it should be in Blu-ray, because you have a lot less discs, which keeps manufacturing costs lower, which means the price comes down for people. If only In-Circle Entertainment would return my emails. Anyways, should we get to the comic news, guys?
Did you actually email them? I thought that was someone else.
Oh, somebody else did. I just decided to email them to clarify and explain it in simpler terms, and I never heard back. I expect to be blocked and never to be heard from again, so.
Well, more of like, why do you care about our kids stuff?
Yeah, I didn't link them my video this time, because I did that with one company, and I was like, maybe I pissed them off. I think it was Cleopatra. I sent them my video. I was like, this is the problems with your disc, and they just did not appreciate that. Not everybody's Nacelle. Nacelle was like, you made a video, let me look into this. Yeah. All kinds of stuff. All right.
I don't think a poor intern wants to deal with angry comments.
No, and I always send it nice and sincere, and and it was just I want to help your company make something better, and
I think it's more when it comes to scenarios like that, when there's a multiple barrages of hate.
Yeah. No, when everybody's emailing a company and they hate it, it just I don't try to add to it. If there is something I'm I feel like I could help, I kind of just send a nice courteous email. I don't ever expect to get a response. It's just, you only miss as many shots as you never take, so throw it out there and see what happens. All right, comic news. So, Marvel Rivals continues to synergize the Marvel Comics lineup. There will be a Frank Thierry and Dielio Diaz one-shot called Doomed 2099. This is also tying into the synergy of just Doctor Doom and everything right now. And it's basically going to be like a follow-up to the Doom 2099 comic, which is getting an omnibus in June. And this comes out in July. So, synergy. I hope the comic is also good. Because all I see is the marketing. I don't see anything of the contents of the comic. I just see Doctor Doom, Marvel Rivals, Doom, 2099 stuff, the omnibus, the Doomsday movie. It's all I'm seeing. Welcome, Spiderus Prime. Especially when they do this cover that literally looks like the Marvel Rivals promo art of the two Dooms facing off against each other.
Yeah. What was the last time Doom 2099 was in something?
The Amazing Spider-Man 2099 event that birthed the new 2099 universe.
I mean, that
was 2018, 2019.
Yeah, so
it's been a minute. Also, Cosmic Ghost Rider's on the cover.
For some reason.
And they're I think I also come looking at, there's Maestro, there's Rachel Summers, there's Old Man Logan, there's Deathblock, there's Bishop. It's all the time. It's all the future people. That's why Cosmic Ghost Rider's here. I don't like Cosmic Ghost Rider. Anyways, there's also this other kind of cool cover that looks like the old Red Hulk, Green Hulk cover. But it's Doom in 2099.
Still bitter about that run?
About Cosmic Ghost Rider?
Yeah.
I'm still bitter about the fact that Cosmic Ghost Rider exists because he's just a knockoff Lobo. And then I also hate the fact he's Frank Castle because it doesn't make any damn sense. And then I also hate the fact that he keeps popping up in things. And I also hate the fact that he's the only Ghost Rider to ever be on the Guardians of the Galaxy. Not for any good reason, because of course he's Cosmic Ghost Rider is written by Donny Cates. I get it makes sense. But like, I just wish somebody else could get the gig. And I also hate that the first Ghost Rider omnibus to ever be made was Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Like, really?
Yes. Not freaking Johnny Blaze or Danny Ketch or Robbie Reyes, but Cosmic Ghost Rider. He got the omnibus first. He gets the thick paperback collection. They give Cosmic Ghost Rider so much stuff. We got a Cosmic Ghost Rider Marvel Legend before we got Danny Ketch or Robbie Reyes.
Well, they tried it with Robbie, but he
but even before they tried him, they did Cosmic Ghost Rider first. Like, they did Johnny, and then they did Cosmic Ghost Rider. And I'm like, what is Marvel's obsession with this character? I don't know anyone that actually likes him.
I mean, it's the rule of cool.
Every Ghost Rider has the rule of cool.
But he's a flaming biker in space.
Yeah, but any of them could be that. But anyways, I have read every Cosmic Ghost Rider comic. I have read every Cosmic Ghost Rider comic. I do not get him. I do not understand the character. He just, like, I know people talk about Spider-Boy being an industry plant. Cosmic Ghost Rider feels like an industry plant. Because they kept giving him stuff. Like, why? I'm still mad. He got an omnibus, and like, you know, it took years before another Ghost Rider got an omnibus. Crazy. All right, moving on. Fantastic Four First Steps is getting a prequel comic one-shot, written by Matt Fraction with art by Mike Buckingham with this cool Phil Noto cover. This one caused a tizzy on the internet because every news reporting site called it the first ever collaboration between Marvel Studios and Marvel Comics.
Wait, what?
Like, there's not an omnibus of MCU tie-in comics. Like, there's not a Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and X-Men 97 comic. Like, they're just, like, pretending this is the first time they've ever done a comic for the MCU.
Oh, is this the first one in a while? Like, not
no! Because, the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man one's not even done.
Okay, it movie. Because I know Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man.
The last MCU, movie one was for Eternals, I think.
Wait,
Eternals got 2. Eternals got 2. They have not been doing it for every movie. Like, in Infinity Saga, they were doing it for every movie, and like several of the TV shows, like Defenders got a comic, and S.H.I.E.L.D. got a comic. Their MCU Synergy comics are like, let's have a mini-series where Sam Wilson fights the Red Hulk. But, like, the thing is, I think we've had movie tie-ins for, like, pretty much, like, most of the movies. I think it's just been Phase 5 they've been kind of dipping on it.
Yeah.
So, but it was like, there was no version of the wording they put out there that was anywhere accurate. It's really bizarre. But, I mean, it's cool. I'm glad to see that, like, they're doing it.
I love this cover.
I love this cover. I love how it's Fantastic Four #1 reimagined, but, it's insane that everybody was, like, reporting it like it's the first time this has happened. And I'm like, this is like saying that, like, every time Disney announces they have a gay character in a movie, it's like, it's our first ever openly gay character. I'm like, you said that 10 times, it has no meaning.
I'm not sure. Maybe it shows how much hype Fantastic Four has, maybe?
I think it also shows, like, all the trades are, very close to the studios. I think it also shows how much Marvel is using the Fantastic Four as their reboot. Like, they're trying to reset the public consciousness of Marvel with Fantastic Four, which is not a bad idea. I think it's a smart move.
How do you reset with the first family? They're resetting. You get the joke. How are you?
Right, but that's what I mean, right? They're the first family. It's kind of like
reboot.
Yeah, because it's like the first movie that's under the new management and stuff.
Because the fan,
it's like how
yes,
it's like how James Gunn's Suicide Squad is. It's technically a reboot, even though it's not.
God, he said something about that recently, and it melted my brain.
Wait, what?
He said that he said that Suicide Squad and Peacemaker Season 1 are canon to the DCU, except not the versions we saw because the events played out the same, but things were different.
I mean, that's usually the case when it comes to continuity.
So he's from Earth 4.
Yeah.
I was just like, what in the Digimon Adventure ass was that statement?
I heard that statement so many times from other media I follow, so I'm not surprised. Like, the constant case of the events of this happen on this version also just played out just slightly differently.
Yeah, and the way he explained it, I think if he just was like, these events happened, but it happened differently, would have been enough. But he like over-explained it with like, it's canon, but it's not canon. And I'm like,
he got too much comic nerd talk.
He got too much comic nerd talk. I think that's I think it's like it's the thing we're all guilty of. But when it comes out of a studio executive, it's like, okay, you gotta check yourself. But I get it.
Yeah,
the thing that's awkward is calling the show Peacemaker Season 2. I think it should have had a retitle to just make it clear that it's like part of the new universe.
It's like I know how you retitle it.
Like Daredevil, like Born Again.
Like Daredevil Born Again, yeah.
Retitle it to I'm gonna kill the DC universe, just like John Cena's gonna kill wrestling.
Oh, how ironic with a certain comic we're gonna cover.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a moment. But yeah, no, the thing is, I think Peacemaker needs like I don't know. They just did a book that was like that came out as like Peacemaker Tries Hard or something. Like do something like that. Give it a fun title.
That was during the dawn of DC. Yeah.
Yeah, just give them some kind of fun title, just so it's like not just Season 2, because it's confusing unless they address it. If they address it, more power to them. If they're not going to address it, retitle the show. If you are going to address it, sure, go ahead.
Now the magic Peacemaker, he's normal thing. They're in the DCEU portal, like opens like hyper time, like and it's like slightly different.
There was a fan theory, and I loved this fan theory. I don't even like the Peacemaker show. I'm not going to watch it, but the thing is, I loved this fan theory that the Mortal Kombat appearance of Peacemaker was canon, and that he left his universe, went to Mortal Kombat, and he came back to a different universe. And so, like, Peacemaker's the one that remembers the DCEU, but everyone else is just like, what are you talking about? Yeah, and like Mortal Kombat was the connection. That's the thing. I was like, if they actually did that, that would be the coolest thing ever. I think that'd be great. And also, like, Peacemaker's viewership's like, Andor levels of low, so they could do it and not worry about the general audience.
It's like how Fortnite, Mark's appearance in Fortnite is canon to the Invincible series.
Yes, because he popped through the portal and came back with the gun. Yeah, that's the kind of thing, like, I would like if Peacemaker actually did that, where they made the Mortal Kombat, like, crossover canon, and that was, like, the bridge that caused him to, like, move over to the DCU from the DCEU. That would be brilliant. I'd be on board with that.
Remember, Fortnite is canon to Star Wars.
Yes, and it's canon to DC because of the yep. All right. In weird ass crossovers, the Fantastic Four and the Gargoyles are crossing over. In other weird news, this hasn't been announced by Marvel. Dynamite has announced this. Marvel has said nothing about this. Which is really awkward, because usually when these intercompany crossovers happen, they get announced by both parties, right? Marvel's not said anything, and all we have is 2 pieces of art that the artist posted early.
Because they're usually pretty fast when they announce, because they actually announce stuff under Sacred of DC.
Exactly. All my Marvel news usually I get from the Marvel website for these streams, but shout out to AIPT Comics, are great. But like Dynamite put out the announcement that they're going to have a crossover between the Gargoyles comic and the Fantastic Four comic. And it is the current Gargoyles comic, because they mentioned like the new kids meeting Franklin and Valeria. But it's just so weird to me that we have George Cambadias artwork for it, but no covers, no date, no it says October, but no details. Nothing else. It's going to be written by Greg Weisman and George Cambadias. So this kind of feels like just feels like a Gargoyles comic. I think Dynamite's publishing it, not Marvel, which is weird for Marvel. They don't usually loan their characters out. Usually, if there's a crossover, Marvel's got the control over it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just weird. We have like zero, like there's no detail besides it's happening. Here's a thing. Here's some art. Very odd. It's very different than what we're used to with Marvel stuff. But yeah, it's cool. I'm excited for it. I hope it's written where you can like read it without having to have like a encyclopedic knowledge of Gargoyles lore.
Well, you had to. It's a crossover. That's the first thing you must do for a crossover like this.
You say this, but I've read some crossovers where they expect you to know everything, and they're terrible. Crossovers are meant to be simple and fun. Anyways, and speaking of simple and fun, Predator kills the Marvel Universe. Do I need to tell you any more?
Mm-hmm.
Also, Benjamin Percy said he wrote this to be canon to the Marvel Universe, and I appreciate that. He said he wrote it to be canon to Marvel and canon to Predator, and he's like, I don't have the official say on that, but I'm going to try. And I kind of dig that. Yeah, so it's going to be Benjamin Percy writing and Marcelo Freire on artwork. I got to say that, like, you know, the new Predator trailer came out and then they announced this, and I'm like, that's Synergy Machine does give.
And the Predator looks really cool.
Yeah, it does, and I think this is great. You know, they did the Alien versus Avengers, and now they're doing Predator kills the Marvel Universe. I think it's really cool. All right, that's it for comic news.
First Deadpool, then Godzilla, then Predator. Man, what's up? Man, what's up?
Didn't Punisher kill the Marvel Universe?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Chaos.
There's also Predator kills the Archie universe.
Yeah, that's true. That did happen.
Yeah. He also met the and Archie met the Punisher.
Yep.
It all connects.
Archie shouldn't have done those things that Archie did, man.
Mm-hmm.
Which one? We're talking about Riverdale. There's like a giant list of them, isn't there?
No, Archie's been a menace even in his own comics.
This is true. But speaking of Archie, Ultraman Omega. It has nothing to do with Archie. I just wanted to talk about Ultraman Omega. We got our official reveal for Ultraman Omega, which, you know, these early reveals are pretty much like, it's airing July 5th. Here's the Ultra. Here's the actor.
They're always jump scares because they never like tease when
it just happened on a random Tuesday.
It's like, ah!
Oh, as SJ4 Jason said, Turn A Gundam kills the Marvel Universe. I am into that idea because watch Moonlight Butterfly just decimate Iron Man. Anyways, Ultraman Omega here. So we got our first poster. This is going to be our new series, which is, it says, simultaneously broadcast distributed worldwide in July 2025, just before the series' 60th anniversary. Here is our design of Ultraman Omega. He is very red.
I'd say round table. What do we all think of the design round table here?
Ryan, you go first.
I really like it. I remember when the leaks happened, when they first show off the design, I was a bit. I'm sure mixed. I think I was more weirded out. Mostly honestly, I think it's the face. I think we all kind of agreed the face was.
It's the Zayarth syndrome.
It's the Zayarth effect.
Yeah.
But like, I think such an actor don't share. I kind of grew to really like it because I think what for me, I think what I like about it, what adds to it, is his giant slugger. The giant slugger. It makes like this really kind of cool, like mohawk. I mean, they're all Ultraman have mohawks, but like the fact they made it more bigger.
Yeah, it's also got really like a cool blue stripe when he takes the slugger off.
Yeah, it kind of. I like how it's sort of like it adds the design to it, and also I think having the Zet like sparkly eyes also adds to it. Also, I do like it very much. Like you know, we all joke the luchador mask, but like I think it works. I think what it is the color balance for me. I think it really works very well. It's a nice color balance, which I like about. Especially his chest armor. I really like it. So the star.
Blade Raider said, "Don't do a black repaint of Omega. It'll look like something they don't want it to." That's a good point.
Evil Zayarth was blue.
It's true.
He was a very dark blue, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I do like his
dark
color
blue and yellow.
Yeah, I like his color timer of like the hexagon, the pentagon looking thing. Kind of almost looks very Titus / Jonius.
Yeah.
With the whole, it kind of looks like a star. But yeah, you know, I really like the design. I think especially helps that he's one of the more bulkier ultras. Yeah, he has a more buffer chest. So I think it adds more to good silhouette, like a good silhouette for him.
All right, Wheels, what do you think? Give me your thoughts.
Yeah, like my biggest problem really is just the Zayarth design doesn't really click with me as much, like with Ryan. Unless they explain his face is red, I'm not involved. The face and the whole head shape changes if he has different forms. Like if he has other forms, I really hope like it becomes like different masks, like we were talking about a couple of days ago. Like I would.
Oh yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Be like different types of like luchador masks if it's gonna be a luchador's aesthetic. Funnily enough, I put in like a fan art and a fan edit of the suit, and I actually like the changes. Like the fan art that someone made gave it like actual streamline like panel lines in the mask, which make it look even cooler. But then the other guy who just was like, what if we made him have like a traditional Ultraman skin tone face? And it makes me think of the Ultra Force, like Scott. Like, tell me that doesn't look like Scott's
because of the heavy angles, right? Like the sharp edges.
Yeah, like I kind of like that. Like that art, I should like it a lot. Like the overall bodysuit isn't horrible. I like the idea of being more primarily red. I like the silver. I like the actual chest armor. I like Ryan said, the pentagon within a star color timer. It looks really cool. The fact that obviously the color timer is going to be a part of the gimmick, supposedly, with the slugger eye thing, where it's like a fusion of the zero eye mixed with a slugger from, like, you know, X. So it's like, okay.
Collector K9 says he will have other forms, we just haven't seen them yet, but the names are trademarked. Cool. I'm excited to see those.
I think what I like about Omega is compared to Zaire, because I think the problem with Zaire, he always has, because the way how his mouth is, it cuts off, like it's sort of like a weird dome.
Exactly.
Here,
like
at least
full face.
Yeah, here at least it's like a luchador mask with a mouth plate and the ears and stuff, so it looks more natural and such, which I like. I mean, you know, you mentioned the inverts colors, and I think that'll look good, definitely. But like, you know, Ultraman sadly gets the stupid comment of everybody being ultra racist. Everybody, the Ultraman look the same.
This definitely it really stands out from the crowd, which I think is nice.
Yeah, he stands out even more than Zaire, honestly, because you know Zaire is supposed to look goofy. Where here he kind of gives this kind of cool silhouette, at least essentially certain angles where. I think especially certain angles where his brow is more downwards, where he looks more angry. Looks really cool. Like in the promo shot where he's like using the slugger, I think it looks really cool and such like that.
A wild take I have is I wish there was like a bit of black pinstripes breaking up the silver and the red. I don't know why, but my brain is like
a G.
Like my brain is like add like black stripes around where like the red is. It's just like my brain is like.
Yeah, you know, kind of like that outline, like edging kind of thing. For me, I think it looks good. I think, like, if people in the chat says as well, it's kind of like it's an animation versus art style type thing with me, because I think if I just look at him on his own, I'm just like, eh. But when I see him in motion, I'm like, ooh, he's really cool. Like, I think the actual, the way the suit actor portrays him and the way that he's shot, I think looks really awesome in the promo. And so that's kind of like, you know, this is always a discussion about, like, you know, this happens with animated shows, but it does apply to live action at times too, which is art style versus animation. It's like, do you not like the art style or do you not like the animation? Because, like, a show like Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, you know, I'm kind of mixed on the art style, but I really like the way the characters move in that show. Like, I really like how they're animated. And I think that's kind of like the case here, where it's like, if I'm just looking at the design standing stock, I'm like, it's okay. But when it's in motion, I'm like, that is really cool. That is really striking. I really like it in like his actual like movements and stuff.
Very similar to Ultraman Rising with Ken, where you know, you look at him just straight out. He looks, of course, he looks weird because he's a gangly alien dude. But like you see in motion Rising, he looks fantastic. As Clark K9 mentioned, he looks like a Luchador Ultra 7, especially with the whole slugger. Because I think he's supposed to be connected to Zero. Like, I don't think he's going to be connected to Zero, but he is sort of.
Are we doing the Zero 15th anniversary this year?
Yeah, it's a 0 15th anniversary / Z for 5 years scenario
years
thing.
For Z already? God.
Yeah. And essentially with the slugger, and because essentially how Arc look very classic Showa Ultra, with you just being a classic silver with red accents Ultra. Like he, you know, and I'm pretty sure I always figured Arc was meant to be a nice kind of, not fresh start, but like, you know, since that came out the same year as Rising, I feel like Super knew that
Arc was like Boom Boomger, where it was like, we just need a stock, like, this is Ultraman. Like, here's like our default kind of like style, so that way, you know, when you do something different, it's like, this is what we're swerving off of.
Yeah, but like, so like, if Arc is supposed to be new gen man-san, quote unquote, then Omega is giving very much new gen 7 vibes. And essentially, you know, I mean, thinking back, you know, you look at 7 next to Man, you know, 7 looks weird as hell because you know, it's very much similar. Where it's a more unique fit head, you know, the all red, the slugger. I won't be sure that's the idea of Omega, especially.
And going with this,
the story.
Shori Kondo, playing Soroto, who is the protagonist, is dressed in so much Heisei drip. I can't believe it.
I know, right?
He's got matching pants to his jacket. Like, he is
the hair also.
Yeah,
the hair also.
The hair, the swagger, the attitude. I'm just like, this just looks like your mid Heisei like ultra protagonist. I'm kind of digging it. which I really do appreciate. Going alongside this, it's going to be simultaneously distributed worldwide in 14 languages. There'll be dubs in 10 languages, subtitles in 14. Here's all the list of dubs and subtitles. These will be all on the YouTube channel, which is nuts. And
I imagine they make separate YouTube channels because we have the English one. There's I think a Korean one and all that stuff. So One Piece Rise will get more.
I think if it has a dub, it's going to get a separate channel. If it's just a sub, it'll just be on the main version. Yeah. And then going alongside this, we do have English dub casting for the main character.
Cal Dell playing the main protagonist.
He's giving him a run for the money with the hair. That's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we talk about the Showa. The Showa inspiration. You read the synopsis. The plot synopsis is very interesting.
Yeah.
Do you want to read it, or do you want me to read it?
I'll read it.
When I saw the guy voicing him for the dub, I said, "Wait, who let Darkon be a voice actor?"
Oh yeah. All right. Let's see. Where's
Darkon for a minute?
Is that the very top?
Yep, found
underneath.
it. All right, so synopsis. On an Earth where neither heroes nor kaiju exist, an alien suddenly falls from the sky. This Ultra symbol is the red space boomerang he holds, the Omega Slugger, and his name means ultimate. Omega is an alien who has lost his memories. Taking human form and adopting the name Soroto, he becomes interested in the life forms called Earthlings that he's encountering for the first time and attempts to understand them. Is this New Generation Mabius? That reminds me of Mabius.
What if Mabius and Ultra 7X had a love child?
Yeah, but also a very Ultra 7 at the same time, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean by...
Ultra 7X was... The host had amnesia.
Yeah.
But, Mabius was the one who was like, yo, dog, I'm going to pull a 7 and just be like, hi.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean by... That's what I mean by very Showa, because the last time he really got... Because this is not like a host thing. His human form is...
It was a orb.
Well, you think because Telly, Jeed. But even then, those.
Rube and Groob. Supposedly.
No, wasn't Rube and Groob separate before they fused with the twins?
They were separate. They
were reincarnated.
They were reincarnated, but that was different.
Same with Orb, because I don't count Orb because Guy had to get the Orb powers. So the last one was G, but G's kind of in that weird area since he was a
test tube baby.
Test tube baby. So what's the last one, the Ultra that had a specific this is his human form? Was it Mebius? Maybe because again, that's what we haven't seen a Ultra where his human form is himself since maybe it's aka the Showa timeline. So I find that interesting. That's really cool to see because
I guess in terms of main series Mebius, technically we had Reboot. Reboot gave himself a human form.
Right.
Yeah. But
in terms of protagonist.
Yeah. But in terms of main show, then it would have been Mebius. And then basically the rest of the plot synopsis is pretty standard. Kaiju appear, and then he turns into Ultraman, and then people are like, "Why does Ultraman protect Earth?" So,
what I like that story synopsis because it reminds me a lot of I think the back in the original series and Shin Ultraman of Sophie and Mansan's whole conversation of why.
Victory.
Right. No, Victor was separate, wasn't he?
Wasn't Victory also a human?
No, separate.
Was he separate? Because
he's separate.
Because I know Ginga was, but wasn't Victory different?
Ginga was from the future, and Victory is supposed to be the past warrior.
Dr. Ganon said Victory was an Earth spirit who merged with a human, right?
Yes, because especially in the final episode of Ginga, they talk about them being separated from Ginga and Victory, and Ginga does talk back in the show. Victory never did, so that's the confusion. But Ginga, Victory is separate from Haruto.
He's an Earth spirit. Okay, all right. So this is still Mebius then.
It's like Gaia.
Oh yeah, Victory was New Generation Gaia. Everyone was like, "When's New Generation Gaia?" And no, Victory was right there.
Yeah, but I like the premise because we haven't really got a conversation of what does Earth mean to Ultraman.
Yeah,
and since the Showa Ultras,
because pretty much all we've been getting lately is people from Earth. Of course, they want to protect Earth.
I'm from Earth.
And you get stuff like Blazar, where you know space caveman monkey learning to like love and care about his planet, new home. But like this is different, where it helps again. It helps that the Ultra is the human. So I'm really curious to see where the story goes. The director of this is the same director as Deckard and Rube. So and I think he, especially with Decker, I think he's a really good. Out of all the Ultra
his direction on Decker was great. Oh,
I think
he made up for his previous outing.
Yeah,
I think certain Ultra directors have some strengths and weaknesses. I think I feel like with his direction, his strength is definitely a really good ongoing story because Taguchi, I love for Zed and Blazar. His great. He has strengths is the practical stuff, but also like the individual.
His is more like visual storytelling in an episodic format.
Yeah, but not really because Zed and Blazar don't really have ongoing. They do, but it's very much not the focus of those two shows.
Whereas like Decker had like a villain for its entire series that they had to like fight. Yeah.
God, I want to talk about because we can't show it because copyright. But there's a shot in the trailer where like it's Omega in this like spaceship, and like wow, we haven't seen a visual like that since like the Zero movies.
Yeah, it looked like a movie level shot, and it kind of like it made me think about how Decker used the AR wall technology when they did their it was the Trigger episodes where they had like Trigger got defeated, but it was in like this giant crater thing, and it was like, how did they do that? And they were like, oh yeah, we just used a giant digital screen and projected it back there and then shot it at an angle so you wouldn't notice that it was flat. And I think they probably used a similar tech for this show. And I think this director's, contributing to that.
Yeah, because when I saw the trailer, I was like, wow, we haven't got this like scenery like this since the Zero movies, because even like Ultra Galaxy, like that's budget green screen land, so everything's very flat.
Because that's the thing that is always tricky with green screen is you have to shoot it in a way to make sure it doesn't look like a flat wall. And that's why a lot of green screen studios now will be curved walls to give it kind of like depth and motion. You can tell in King Oger. I've been rewatching King Oger lately, and you can tell in King Oger when they were using a flat green screen room and when they were using the curved one. Like it's very obvious because like it helps with the depth and everything. But yeah, this is looking great. We kind of glanced over the Omega Slugger, which is the transformation item.
This is honestly one of my favorite Ultra devices in a while because I like how small and compact it is. It's not a giant like large diamond or a giant like axe.
It actually looks fun.
I like how because it really is very much a Heisei era device. Yeah. It's a small and compact thing that just opens up. And it's kind of insane that not only is the first time we got technically our slugger, because heavily the Zet Riser is supposed to be 2 sluggers, but it's so bulky that I keep forgetting it is.
Yeah.
But now the slugger, but finally like a color timer finally as our gimmick, like because that's what it practically is his color timer.
And, like Muteki said, I hope it is better than the Arc thing as a toy, because that Arcorizer is like the Arcorizer is the most useless Ultra device I've ever owned, because you don't need it. You only need the cube.
The Arcorizer looks like a satisfying toy to mess with, but like at that point, just get a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, no, I thought, it'll be at least fun to mess with, even though like all the sounds are in the cubes. It wasn't. It wears out fast, because if you don't have it in the correct direction, the transformation doesn't play right anyways. Like you don't have any freedom with that thing. And then if you mix it up too much, then you're trying to like figure out how to get it back to where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, because that's the thing with Ultra. I don't know what the current relationship with Bandai and Super I is, but like you can definitely tell we're getting it's with Blazar and Arc, where since those are so in advance that like where Bandai couldn't really do that much influencing, is the toy. It really kind of shows the effectiveness of the toys, because it's one of those things where maybe that's because Arcorizer again, like not really a great toy, because I'm pretty sure Bandai was kind of limited because Super Mario.
The 50,000 tons astronaut is the weight of Ultraman Omega, not the device.
Imagine. But yeah, we're like, the show's already filmed, man. It's like, what can we do? Like they already did everything. Like they already established everything what the Arc could do. So
and Toei's starting to do that too, because we found out this week that Gav episode 32 was written when Gotchard's finale aired. Like they're working way in advance now. I think Super Riot was like, screw Bandai, we're just gonna start making these things in advance, and Toei was like, oh, we could do that. It's kind of nice. Like, I think it's making all the shows better for it. Really.
And so like seeing like how simple the Omega Slugger is, man, it's going to like throw their hands in the air. Fine, we'll make a more simpler toy and give it for you.
I think it also helps. I think it also helps Bandai because now they're like, that toy's not going to cost as much to produce.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, a simpler toy means less cost on production.
Why did they make the Tegazord both the Morpher and the Megazord?
Exactly. Welcome, Comic Jojo.
You only make two toys. You had to make just one.
Yeah. Modifies Danielle. Yeah, Toei's been really working in advance now. They, I think they said that they had been filming for 6 months on Goshuger before the reveal. Which before Toei worked on a 6-week production cycle. It was always 6 weeks from filming to airing. But now they're working months in advance. And like visually, the shows are looking better than they ever have. I think the story, like Gav's storytelling is great because you don't have kind of like, they did not hit that weird middle period where they don't know what to do with the characters and then everybody's just kind of like floating around doing nothing. Like that's not happening because they've been able to plan it out longer. They're not sitting there waiting for toys to come out. They already know it and they're just working it into it. And I think it's making all these shows better. They just, with these high special effects shows, especially with like the render time on VFX and stuff, the more time they have to work on it, the better. And I'm glad to see that they're doing good with that.
I hope eventually the Toei shows will get the good CG time like Super Riot does. I think
they're starting to improve. I think they're really starting to improve because I think that like the CG quality of Super Riot is definitely higher, and I think it's a budget thing because they're doing half as many episodes. Right?
Yeah, I think that's the case.
I think that's the case.
Okay.
The thing is, like with Gav's VFX, I don't think it's as high quality as the Ultraman VFX. But I will say the creativity on display with Gav's effects work is something like I've never seen before in Rider. It's really clever. Like instead of just being the same like effects on stuff, it's like if he's using a marshmallow form, there's marshmallow stuff happening in the effects. If he's using the chip form, it's got like specific attributes to the food that the form is based on. And I think that's just so cool. Like that's the kind of stuff I look for in these things. So
okay, so I know something about the CG though.
Yes.
Okay, so one of the interesting things about the CG, right, is you are correct that because of budgetary costs of not having that many episodes, Pro probably does have a lot more.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing that I've also learned was for most of at least the new generation era, like the first 5 seasons or so, and with Toei, they were using the same studio for their CG.
Yeah, Toei and Super Riot used the same VFX studio.
Yeah.
They were using the same VFX studio. The difference between the two was normally either the director and crunch time, because most of those guys work at the same studio together. Obviously, they work pretty much back and forth. The difference is, the director they choose is always very able to either fit in the budget or get shit done on time. But the B team that like Toei ends up hiring is always overtaxed because it's not just that because they're doing more episodes, but it's because they're doing 2 fucking shows.
That's true. Yeah, it's more. It's 2 shows at once from the same.
So they're stretched thin.
They're more stretched thin. Yeah, that's definitely a factor.
Even if you say it was Sentai by itself versus Ultraman, even with the same episodes counts that both shows currently have, they would still sort of be screwed over just because they don't have the wider window.
No, that is definitely the
also,
case because
this is another case too. Just sorry to side tangent, but the Super Riot stuff tends to do more practical effects than the Toei stuff does, because you notice that like Ultraman transformations are very simple, whereas like Kamen Rider transformations are very involved. Sentai transformations are involved. And then like you have to do like, so if you do a mecha transformation in Ultraman, they'll just do it with miniatures most times, like King Joe Storage Custom. But then if you do a mecha transformation in Sentai, they do it all in CG, and so that takes extra time to do it all.
Yeah. Well, that's because Wheels mentioned it's definitely the case because I feel like even though Gozuger's CG is definitely better than most other the past Sentai, so you like Dawn Brothers, but I still don't. I'm not a fan still of the CG fights, not because they're CG, but more the storyboarding and the directing of them. They go too fast. They go way too fast for my taste, and I think it's definitely the case. Yeah, as Will said, it's they need a kind of
it's a direction choice too. It's like this conversation comes up on social media a lot, and I always hate it, where people are like, "Why aren't movies lit like they used to?" Because the person in charge of the directing of photography of the film decided they didn't want to light it that way. Mm-hmm. It's not like some trend. It's not some requirement. It's the person who was the DP told the gaffer, I want it lit natural. I want it lit this way. I want it lit that way. Just because it happens a lot doesn't mean somebody's like forcing it on the industry. It's a stylistic choice.
I can back you up on that as somebody who's done photography and having to do studio lighting. Everything you're saying is right.
Yeah, and having worked
their choice,
having worked in lighting in a professional manner, you get told what the lighting is going to be like, and then you got to fulfill it. And if you try to cause a problem, you're going to get fired.
Yep.
And so I think that a lot of, with Tsuburaya, we talked about the Tsuburaya versus Toei. Tsuburaya's directors are a lot more experienced and a lot older on average. And
because the director of Omega here has been working since Cosmos, for example.
Whereas with Toei, they get new directors all the time, right? So I think that's probably where a lot of it comes in, is that the Tsuburaya directors are more experienced in the medium. But on that note, let's get to the rest of let's get to the toy news, because there's not a ton of it, but we can wrap up pretty soon. All right, let's do it. So, toy news. Jack Specific, in an effort to continue to raise my blood pressure, has not announced their third wave of the Sega line at Walmart, but instead they just appeared out of nowhere
on eBay. I don't know where this was. I have a sneaky feeling there's another stolen from the truck scenario. Because how
have you found Wave 2 in your stores? Because I haven't.
It's different reports. For context, Wave 2 of this is part of the Walmart Sega line. Sega line. The Wave 2 is Metal Virus Sonic from the IDW comics, the Dragon from Ultra Beast, and Kraus.
It's the Kangaroo. Kangaroo from Streets of Rage.
Streets of Rage. I forget
His name is literally Roo.
His name is Roo. Cool.
Roo. So they first released in Canada last year. I don't know. I think it was like summer last year.
No, I think it was like fall. I think it was like fall, like winterish.
Or something like that. And there was no one, with some exceptions, I'm not sure how, but no one was able to find in the US, only in Canada. And so I think, from what I hear, people have been finding some of the Wave 2 stuff now, beginning this year around this time. So they're slowly coming out slowly.
I've checked my Walmarts a few times this year, which I don't like doing because my Walmarts have had horrible crimes happen at them. There was a beheading at one of my Walmarts one time, and I don't like going back to that one, but sometimes I gotta find my Sonic toys. Anyways.
What?
Yes.
That's an interesting story.
It's been 8 years and I'm not over it because I was there the night it happened. Anyways, I found out after I checked the news and I was like, what? What time was this? Yeah, they found the body about an hour after I was there.
Oh dear.
Yeah, anyways.
The story was, guys, this is the highlight of the story. Soundout goes to shopping, comes home. He's literally going, hey guys, look at the toys. Literally in the Skype call, and then all of a sudden he sees the news. He's like, "What the hell?" And we're like, "What?" It was a beheading outside the Walmart. I was just literally, and I'm just sitting there going, "Nice." There was no quickening though, right? And he's like, "The hell's a quickening?" And I'm like, "Oh God,
Yeah.
No, we fire you."
So, anyways, I go check, and all I see is Super Monkey Ball, stacks of him.
Bad. Shuffle bad. So that's sadly
found out he's 3 to a case, and the other 2 are 1 each.
Yep. So that's the most frustrating thing. So
even if my stores are not going to get Wave 2 at this point, because unless they throw little II on clearance, they're not getting out of the way in time for Wave 2. And so now I just basically have to just go, well, guess I'm not getting Wave 2 because
pray and hope.
Sure.
Praying hope.
Yeah.
So
anyways, Wave 3 has Tangle from the IDW comics, and now that's why I'm pissed. Because I'm like, damn it, it's in the line that's even harder to get than the main line.
Yeah, because, oh god, like, I was freaking out when this got leaked, because, because this is our actual IDW character, not just a variant of Sonic, so I was like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh my god, it's like also one of my favorite
Mr. Tanuki, my Christmas charity plan is buy every I can to clear them out. That's a service we need in this world.
Legit.
Because, if I never get Metal Virus Sonic... If I never get Metal Virus Sonic, I'm going to be like, whatever. If I can't get the Altered Beast and Street Rage figures, kind of like, I want them, but, I can live with it. I really want Tangle!
Yeah, I know, right? And she looks like a really good figure. Like her series, the whole
This is like Cosmos for the Transformers line all over again.
Yeah, my only, she looks great. Looks like she has actual elbow joints, which is like, wow, that's a surprising for spindly arms. I really like her fist accessory, because if you don't know, people who don't know, Tango the Lemur's from the IDW comics. Her gimmick is her tail literally is just another fist, leather limb, so she can punch people with it. And I love her accessory is the giant fist.
Yeah,
you can plug
it's like the first interchangeable hand in this line.
Yeah, my only concern is I hope
she's Bianca Belair.
Who?
No, wrestler.
That's why we don't know what that is.
Wrestler who's
Wheels coming in with those irrelevant references.
It's a relevant reference.
All right, if you say so. Anyways,
my only concern is I hope she can balance well, because that tail.
It looks like it's jointed in 3 places, so that's helpful.
No, yeah, it's jointed. So
Jerry just got jointed.
She could bend. She probably you tripod it, but right so it's one of those. Hopefully she could stand using her accessory, fist accessory, all that stuff.
Yeah, I want her, but can Jax please sell toys on line?
This is Walmart. I mean, this is a Walmart scenario.
Can Walmart please sell toys online?
All of them, not just the don't. I don't know why Walmart's so picky with their.
They are, and it's just I'm irritated at how good this figure looks, because I really want it, but I have zero opportunity to get it.
Is he more? I mean, this is now we're in that territory. Now this line's gonna become frustrating, because if Tango's. If we get Tango, Whisper, Surge, Dr. Starline, and Landolin, or could be next.
The Beetle.
They could be Jewel and Landolin. They could be definitely next. They could be next.
Yep.
And that's gonna be frustrating if I can't get my favorite characters.
I love the IDW comics, and I'm just sitting here, I'm getting war flashbacks of a war that hasn't happened yet. I'm getting premonitions of just not finding these toys.
What are you talking about? It's called the Walmart Transformer stuff.
Yeah, I know. You know how many of those Walmart exclusive Transformers lines my store stocked? None. Velocitron once. That was it.
Once.
No restocks. They did not do Toxitron. They did not do whatever last year's was. Star Raiders. Nothing. My stores absolutely hate stocking Walmart exclusives for whatever reason. They'll stock other stuff. I'll go in there and there'll be 1,000 crappy Transformers toys from the kids line, but yet.
Were your Walmart's shelf warming with those weird plushie dolls, those weird plushie Transformer things?
Yeah, there's a bunch of those.
I don't get those.
I don't get them either. But my stores are an exclusive to our store. Let's not carry it, and I'm just
Well, I mean, what's frustrating is the other figures of this wave are also painful.
Yeah, so we got the Golden Axe Dwarf, Gilius Thunderhead.
I always love he's the mascot. He's because the other two are Naked Woman and Naked Man.
Yeah, he's the only one that wears clothes.
He's the only one they usually make the mascot of the whether there's a Golden Axe crossover, anything from other Sega games or comics.
And then Joe Musashi from Shinobi.
This was frustrating because I love Shinobi.
All right,
and I also makes sense because that new game's coming out this summer. But damn it, he looks really good. Also,
Blade Raider says my Walmart either overstock, understock, or not stock exclusives at all. Pretty much.
Mine's the same. Every time I go there, I hate it.
You know what Walmart should do?
There's only one friend of ours that has a good Walmart. You know who it is. He shows pictures of it.
Yeah, exactly. You know what Walmart should do is what they do for the TMNT exclusives at Walmart, where they sell them singles. Or they sell a box set on the website. Yeah, I would just buy all these waves in box sets, you know?
Yeah, like even if they upcharge you like $40, fine. Like
just give me a choice to buy it that's not eBay.
Yeah.
Because it's frustrating. Because these are looking amazing, and I'm like, I found Wave 1 with like relatively no issue, but now the stores are all clogged, and I'm like, I'm never going to see Wave 2, and I'm not going to see Wave 3 at this point. It's very. I think
this thing is like, and this is, I'm not sure, and I can't even say it's a Jack's problem because other toy companies have this problem with the store stuff. Is I don't get why these non-collectors toys are not available on online.
Yeah.
Like on the online officially.
It's and you know what I don't get either is why they're like, you know what I don't get either is why these are Walmart exclusives at all. Does Walmart give a shit about Golden Axe?
I think it's just the case. I think that's the.
Does anyone give a shit about Golden Axe?
Us.
I do. I love Golden Axe.
It's definitely the case.
No, I'm making the joke of like, us. We're like the only one.
But the point being, it's always like these obscure things only exist because the stores pay for them. I'm like, how does this deal work out? What's the negotiation like? That Walmart's like, yes, we'll fund the tiny dwarf with the axe.
Well, because what I imagine, and this is not just for this line, but in general, is the toy company don't give what they're making, but like a product example, like like Jack Pacific, like we'll if you help us, if you help us fund these Sega action figures from Sonic the Hedgehog to Shinobi to yada yada, we'll make them exclusive to your stores. It's not like Jax went, hey, can you fund this? And same thing with like the Marvel
or like the Transformers sublines, right? Like there's no way that Walmart was like, we have to have Cosmos, right? But my question is, Hasbro, why are you offering them Cosmos? Like knowing that there's a higher demand for him, right? Like that's the kind of thing that always like racks my head a little bit.
Really, with Cosmos and Over, we know specifically them being exclusives help fund them. Like that make good.
Yeah, they were going to be retools otherwise.
Retools. Yeah, that's the case where I think.
But that's always the thing. Like Wheels and I were talking about this earlier, and this is probably a subject for a live stream. Sometimes toy companies make no damn sense, and we don't know all the logistics behind the scenes. The Cosmos and Override was a good example of like they told us these were going to be retools, but Walmart made it so they were new molds. But then you look at some other things that got new molds, and you're like, so why did that get a new mold slot and this one get a retool slot, right? Like the whole Hound situation is a weird one where they're, like, and it's all those kind of things. But kind of circling it all back together, I think these look fantastic. I just want a chance to buy them.
Yeah, I think that's the always frustrating thing is the monkey paw. It's the classic monkey paw deal with the devil scenario where it's like you'll get these brand new from the ground up action figures of these characters that you really want, but they're gonna be
but they're Coastal City exclusives because that's what happens. It's the same issue I have when I talk about the McFarlane toys and the Platinum figures because people will be like, "Oh, I can find Platinum in my store." I'm like, "Do you live in a coastal city?" Because what always ends up happening to the stock of exclusives and limited stuff at Walmart and Target, they go to the coastal cities, right, where the ports are, they get their stock, and then it dwindles the closer into the middle of America you get. So for me, I'm in the Southwest, I get nothing. It's all sucked up by California. And when I see I never see a Platinum figure in stores unless I'm like at a comic shop where it's like $45. And it's just like, it's nuts to me, like, when people like are like, well, I can find them no problem. Like, oh, good for you. But, like, the rest of us can't. Like, that's my little mini rant about fandoms. But that's kind of like my problem is that by the time stuff gets to me with exclusives, there's, like, not enough stock. And the only stock that we get is the overstock of stuff that nobody else wanted. And Hellfire brings a good point. Just because being in California, my Walmarts are just dry. Yeah, it depends on where you are in California. Like, the closer to Los Angeles you are, the higher chance you got at it. But if you're, like, northern or further southern, you're just not going to see anything. Like, when I go to Anaheim, their Walmart sucks. Anyways.
My Walmart sucks, too.
Anybody got a Walmart that's good? We have one friend, right?
One friend. Because I went to other Walmarts in this state. They equally suck.
Walmart for me is like a dice roll. It could be good, very good as one
Nothing's
day,
in stock.
really bad the other day.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, moving on. Hasbro has extended their license with Disney.
Fork found in kitchen.
Fork found in kitchen. I would go with a classic. In other news, water, wet.
Yep.
There was a bunch of rumors, which this is always the thing to remember about rumors is check the sources. And also never believe a rumor until something's happening. Never pay too much stock into it. There was a rumor that they could lose the license. I mean, it's kind of like that rumor got started because their license was running out. But, like, I think everybody expected them to renew the license.
I think it was Star Wars that people were, like, reasonably like, yeah, I could see them losing the license, but Marvel, no. Not
Marvel, no. They were never going to lose Marvel. Like, they were going to hold on to that for sure. I think with Star Wars, it was a possibility. But I'm kind of hoping that, like, in the negotiations, Hasbro is able to take the BDSM collar off of them. Because the way that, like, Star Wars is done right now, where Disney decides all the characters that are being made, that needs to stop, because that does not work. And that's the reason why the lines suffer from this. Because Hasbro has no say into what characters are put in. This is like several people who worked at the Hasbro brand that no longer work there have said this. They are told by Disney, you're making these characters. And they don't get any say in it. And that's not how you make a toy line. Because you need to make the people that make the toys, that look at the sales and look at what people want, they need to be the ones to decide what's being made. That's what needs to be happening. So I'm hoping that's been worked out, because with Disney calling the shots as to what Star Wars figures have been made, it's killed Black Series and it's killing Vintage Collection. And the retail space for Star Wars toys, if anybody's been to any store recently, horrible, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
My store is stocked with so many Mandalorians that there's no room for anything else. And when they do get something else, it's like a figure nobody wants. And it just sits around there and gathers dust. So I'm hoping that with a new contract, they got a better deal, where they're not being abused by Disney all the time. All right, in other news, there's NFL Transformers now.
Oh, nowhere.
All right. Can I army build a Bears team?
Maybe.
The Bears.
You can't get Bears yet. There was a rumor that they're going to make these for every single team. Originally, the rumor this is also, again, going into, don't always listen to the rumors, but the rumors stated that these are going to be sold at the, like, fan shops at the stadiums for each team. But they are on Amazon. So you can just buy any of these four. You got Kansas City Chiefs, Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Green Bay Packers. They have fun names. Like, the Chiefs one is called KC-59. The Cowboys one is named Star Blitz. The Steelers one is named Steel Smash. And the Packers one is named Tundra Prime. I don't know why the Steelers got a Prime, whereas everybody else got just normal Transformers. Yeah, I was like, Steelers gets paid more money to get a Prime. So they're all the same mold, which is totally fine and makes sense. And then they're all just painted to look like your favorite team. So if you buy one, you get them all, because I think they all have the same face.
Yeah. No. They have different faces.
Oh, they do have different faces. Yeah, okay. They're just hard to tell because of the grills, but so they have different faces, but they're all the same mold. They're $25, so standard deluxe price, which is honestly not bad. Yeah, if you're into football, you're into Transformers. There you go. Pretty cool.
I kind of wish the hand egg accessory was 5mm instead of the Orion, like the how they do the Primes, the Matrix suits nowadays.
Oh yeah.
Because damn it, I want to have my Transformers with a hand egg they can throw around.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. I do think it would make sense for them to do the other teams in the NFL. I don't think they're just going to stop at these four, because this is like printing money. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like printing money. It's like one mold for the entire set. All you gotta do is like swap out heads, and then everything else is the same. Like, that's not, and they're gonna just sell off the NFL license alone. Like, Hasbro's, I think they're gonna make the rest of the teams. I think that's just what they're starting with.
Is this an apology for their starting lineup line?
I guess, maybe. Yeah.
Guys, come on. The Patriots aren't here, so their fans are going to be pissy.
Exactly. That's the thing. You can't just do four. You're going to have people mad at you.
Yeah, but, realistically, they can't do all of them at once.
Yeah. Oh, Packers is Tundra Prime, Steelers is Steel Smash. So you know how people can't identify Ultraman characters from one another? I can't identify NFL teams from one another. So
I only recognize the one from my state, and that's it.
Yeah, we don't have a professional football team here. We just got a college one. We also have a minor league baseball team.
Oh, do you have a little league? Do you have Pablo Sanchez?
There's a little league, but it's a minor league baseball team, which is like, they're not pro league because they're not good enough to be in like the pro league, but they're like there.
Do you have Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Baseball or your team?
I mean, honestly, maybe the Isotopes would win more games if that was the case. All right, we got last piece of news is the Figuarts.
Got a lot because Bandai's like bang, 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 like bigger.
Bandai, I gotta tell you guys, I think Bandai's got an addiction problem. They're addicted to announcing things because what is it? Last week I checked. Last week we covered 7 new Figuarts, and this week we're covering 5, 6, 7 more, and there's 2 others I don't feel like talking about. Like, this is insane.
It's one of those, and it's frustrating because like they're all good, but like I can't afford all this. Not
only can I afford all this, like if you're not importing, you can't get them right now if you're in the U.S. because they're not putting them for pre-order either. Like,
I know, right? It's so frustrating. Me and my stupid Shonen Jump loving heart.
Dude, it's rough. It's like you're like, I want them to make more Figuarts, and then they make more, and you're like, no, stop! You went too hard, too fast.
Maybe I'm glad the Bleach line is not doing that much because I think that would be literally dead.
Yeah.
I might hear what to deal with.
Oh yeah, Hellfire said, quick mention of how insane the new T2 memory set is. Yeah, for the complete selection modification T2 Gaia memories, every single one of them has a unique transformation jingle now.
Really?
Which they never did before, but now they do.
Huh.
So, if you're ever wondering why the price is so high, there you go. All right. SH Figuarts. So, SH Figuarts Char Aznable finally exists. Thank you, G-Quack.
Oh, sick.
Why are they making a figure that one dude from episode 2 of G-Quacks?
That one flashback guy from G-Quacks. Yes,
so,
Robot said, watch, once the stream ends, they'll announce other Figuarts. That happened to Char. He got announced like right after we streamed.
Wasn't he teased?
He was teased, like, yeah, and then suddenly, like, now he exists. He is getting a full release across the world.
So history. So figure history.
They showed a crappy-looking version of this figure like 10 years ago or something.
Back in the ye old days of the line.
Yeah.
The Figuarts line.
And then like Blade Reader, like they needed an excuse to make a Char. Apparently so, because we looked at that prototype for 10 freaking years without them actually releasing it. This one's way better looking.
It looks really good. I love the Pacific engineer here so he could do his gay singing pose. Not my quote. I saw someone say that on Blue Sky.
No, but like it's true. I gotta tell you, when it comes to the design, I think he looks great. I will say he does look a little G-Quuxy over like original animation style, and that's not a problem because it's basically the same. But that's just me.
Because even though they list him under Mobile Suit Gundam, he is kind of a companion figure with the other Gundam figure they announced. So
yes, which they announced, but they didn't put up for solicitations. We'll talk about it later. Which is weird because they're like, well, we're announcing 9 Figuarts. Why not a 10th? But they're just like, nah, we're gonna wait. I'm like.
The new type head looks funny because the classic new type like effect.
He's got a little shiny effect. It does look like War for the Earth. It looks like War for the Earth Char because of his mouth being open like that. Yeah.
But it also looks like someone shot him with that reaction. Like, oh.
Yeah. You got the Kycelia Zabi treatment.
No unmasked head.
I was gonna say no unmasked head. He does come with a "I laugh at you" face, which is great.
Yes, I mean, here's the thing. Maybe the reason why they didn't do it because they're planning to do what's his name from Zeta, like Quattro something.
If they do Quattro Bagina and he comes with DLC head, I also thought, what if they make like Shalia Bull and then he comes with the unmasked Char head because they're making a big deal about Shalia Bull suddenly in G-Quucks, which is the weirdest part of G-Quucks to me. Is the fact that they're pretending Shalia Bull is important.
But no, my favorite part is someone doing the dirty yields back in 1970. Dirty yields in 2024.
I know. He looked like, he was like always in his mid-30s, but he looked like a 75-year-old old man in the original show. And then now they were like, oh no, we're actually going to make him look like he's 35 now.
Now he's hot. He's hot.
Yeah, Hot Shalia Bull like threw me off because when he showed up, I was like, who is that? And then like they said his name, I was like, what? Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about like taking a Gulp Shadow and making him a main character. Dave Filoni would be proud.
Hey,
Anyways,
it's working. I actually really like him in episode. I really like him in the third episode.
I know he's fun. He's such a great addition to that show. I'm surprised. It's just like it's like on paper, it's like we brought Shalia Bull back and made him interesting, and it's like what you how? Hellfire says Shalia Bull, SHF, but he comes with 2 glasses of wine for him and Char to have in a low-lit room. Yep. Because Garma doesn't seem to be around in this version of the timeline. So Char's like, my homoerotic romance this time will be Shalia Bull instead of Garma Zombie. I love the camp of Gundam. Oh, it's so good.
No, as my friend, me and my friend were joking. We were watching G-Clock for the first time, and we asked, "Is Gundam just fueled by gay now?" And he said, "No, Gundam's always been gay. That like half the merch, half the reason why they kept Char alive because of the Amuro and Char shipping.
No, that's why they brought him back for Zeta.
Zeta. This franchise is fueled by the power of gays.
I mean, this man's been wearing a skirt since 1979. Yeah.
Guys, literally, Gundam's been fueled on heterosexual and homoerotic tensions, like, out of nowhere. Like, because remember, hentai got popularized because of Sailor or whatever.
Yeah, that Sailor shower scene is... The Sailor shower scene created hentai, basically. And then
supposedly, like,
and then Yaoi slash fiction was created by Char and Garma, and then later Char and Amuro.
Yep.
Yeah. No, Gundam is important to the...
of your birth, Garma.
Oh, yeah, no, definitely. I gotta tell you, here's the thing, all right?
We're just horny on Maid.
The original Gundam show is so influential that I'm convinced the reason why shipping is the term is because what did Char do to Garma? He shot down his ship.
It was the misfortune of his birth.
He killed him by shooting down his ship. I'm just saying. All right. Hellfire said, didn't Tumino say this franchise is held by Fujoshi's? Yes, he did. The actual quote.
Well, remember, Gundam Wing, man. Gundam Wing is the biggest Fujoshi bait ever.
It's like when people make the meme, like, when did Star Trek get woke? 1966. Like, it's been there since the beginning.
See, this is why Bang Bravern is indeed just peak mecha, because it is just gay.
it takes the metaphor for sex and then doesn't make it subtext anymore.
Yep.
Amazing. All right. Next up, we have Ochacha.
My subtext.
Ochako
Uraraka,
yeah.
Yeah, Uraraka. And
it's
2 hours and 15 minutes in. I can't pronounce things anymore. She's still built like a Pixar mom, but she looks pretty good.
Yeah, no, she looks great. I mean, again, a woman in the line. What is this?
My God, the reverse shot. Why?
I know, like it's so like.
Isn't she a minor?
Like, it's the final It's the final war arc.
Is the final war arc? Did they age enough to not be a minor anymore?
Nope.
Oh my God. It's like all those RC model kits where it's like, really?
Like you say this about Uraraka. Go take one peek at Orihime and dazzle your blood war.
Please. Isn't she also like underage?
She's almost 8. She's 17.
Oh God, that means she's technically of age in Japan. God. Oh.
Don't think of it too hard.
But yeah,
what's with the lesbian head?
Okay, so I'm gonna explain this in Marvel comic terms for you.
Okay.
Toga is Toga, who's one of the main female antagonists of the series, is the Mystique of My Hero.
So she's holding her daughter.
No, not that. Okay, no, gay lover. It's the best way to describe it.
Oh, she's holding Destiny.
Yes, that's the best way I can describe the Toga and Uraraka scenario with them and such like that. But honestly, it's a really cool thing that she comes with because it's a very she goes with a lot of episode specific or chapter specific accessories, but like, I don't mind because they are the ones she comes with are like very key moments in the series. It's not like Masterpiece Transformer. They come like one random message from one of the million episodes of G1 Transformers, for example.
Yeah, I think it's really cool when they do those like episode specific accessories. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what I like is, even though even though she's a female figure, she comes with as much and looks as posable as the guys, which I'm happy about. Because
and she's priced the same as Char Aznavour, 9,900 yen. Because looking at this month's pre-orders for Figuarts went up in price, like just across the board. I know we were complaining about Goju Wolf. But like everybody's at like 9,900 yen.
Hey, at least the others come with actually good accessories.
Yeah, Goju Wolf's still a little lacking. I did, when we talked about last week on the stream, I did realize it was this Tega sword that was where all the budget went.
Well, and essentially the other shonen female we're going to talk about, that's another case there where the budget went to the paint. I mean, she's the same price as Todoroki and Bakugo, so it's not just
equality.
Equality. Everyone's expensive.
All right. Going in the opposite direction, the Chainsaw Man Rize arc version is only 7,700 yen, which is kind of surprising. But this is a new mold version of Chainsaw Man.
Not I think from what because by looks of it, it's at least the upper torso is new, but the arms are the same and the legs are the same, but the crotch is different because different pants.
And the shoes are the feet are different because he's got different shoes. But his torso is because now he's got the open shirt look. The torso's way more movable than it was before.
Yeah, and the original Chainsaw Man had a pretty good ab crunch.
But yeah, that was never a figure I thought needed to be improved on, but here we are, and I'm like,
this is a scenario where this is definitely the case of if you miss the previous Chainsaw Man, this is a good re-release without just being a re-release.
Yeah, I think this is kind of a good way to do a re-release because it's I think it's definitely like it looks about the same accessories, right? Open hands, fists,
open mouth,
curled fingers. 2 mouths. And you just get one less accessory, which is you don't get the tie floating in the wind because he's not wearing the tie.
My only thing is I hope his jaw, because I'm not sure you have the same problem with your
the jaw falls out.
Yeah, I really hope they fix that because that's my biggest problem with the Chainsaw Man figure. His jaw, I think I lost the tongue out jaw. I don't know, because it just went missing. Same with one of his ties, because the tolerances of those do not click in.
Yeah,
very well. I might actually pick this up since one is pretty decently priced, but also I actually really do like Denji's look with the shirt open.
Yeah, I really like it too. It's got kind of it's a little bit more dynamic than the original one, which is still like one of my favorite figures. So
it also adds to the wildness of his devil form. Also, I think this fits with the aesthetic and all that stuff.
I'm looking forward to this movie because it actually visually looks like what I wanted the show to look like.
I hope Rize also gets a figure. I mean, thankfully there's actual not safe for work design with her. They actually gave her.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they changed it for the movie. They actually gave her.
They gave her clothes,
so she's merchandisable now.
Yeah.
I mean, she was merchandisable before to a certain extent.
Yeah, but not in the same way that Bandai would want.
But little Timmy, not they can merchandise her, so they can let little Timmy look at her.
Yeah,
when you guys were talking about Chainsaw Man, all I was thinking about was in the Simpsons movie where Homer's like, "I got a chainsaw," and he's going.
I'm thinking of the Gav episode where Sachika brought out a chainsaw and everybody got really concerned.
You mentioned that Simpsons.
You're not allowed to talk about that character. It causes debate and controversy.
I don't care. I like Sachika.
You talk about that Simpsons moment, Wheels, but I was thinking more the moment where Willie did have chainsaws. Willie zip tied chainsaws to his limbs.
Yes. All right. Next up,
next show,
Shinobu Kocho from Demon Slayer.
Another woman.
I know, this is surprising, but also cool, but also why is she 11,000 yen? Why is she 11,000 yen?
It's the paint. At this point, it's the paint.
It's gotta be.
Coat. Because, I think that's gonna be the kind of pain of the Demon Slayer line. Is because, people, that's the thing about the Demon Slayer line. They're really good figures, but, one, they don't come with effect parts, which for a show like Demon Slayer, the effect parts are actually kind of important.
Yeah, I've watched most of the first season, and overblown effects is half the visual style.
Essentially, and such like so that's the most frustrating, and the price, but it's because
at least she's retail.
Yeah, she's retail, but these their cloaks, which is the most iconic thing for the series, are so highly detailed that That's definitely a lot of paint budget.
I think that's also the reason the show is seasonal too. I think they had to have time to animate these intricate coats.
Trying to draw all those detailed coats.
The mangaka for Demon Slayer is like, I'm gonna make something that's gonna get real popular, and everyone's gonna hate me for how I designed the characters. Yeah,
it's like Cell. It's like Cell.
It's like Cell, or like when Oda decided that Law was just gonna wear open shirts from now on. And it's like every time he has to be animated, they have to draw his chest tattoo over and over and over again. It's just like every time I see Trafalgar Law, like when he gets introduced, it's like okay, he's got a couple tattoos on his hands, right? And then it's like post time skip, it's just like you see him in like these like long sleeve things. It's like okay, yeah, he's saving himself in the animator's time, like drawing it, and then he gets to dress Rosa, and Law's like, I'm not wearing a shirt anymore. And I'm just like, did Oda do this just to torment somebody in the animation staff?
I feel like he did that. He had to have. He had to have been like, I hate that guy. Fire him.
I know.
Can't fire him. All right, I'll push him out.
Yeah, that's I would say I'm at least it's nice to see Bandai release all the Hagarashi pretty quickly because it's not like Bleach with the Guilty 13 when we have 1, 2, 3 out of the 13.
Yeah, or like how we don't have all the Straw Hats.
All the Straw Hats? I can't believe we still don't have Usopp and Sanji yet, and Robin. It's so baffling.
I know. Well, I get Frankie, Brook, and Jinbei. I get those are hard. But like Usopp and Sanji, they've already shown. Robin's not that hard either. Like,
where is Usopp and Sanji?
I don't know. It's been how long since Jump Fest?
How long? Months.
We have gotten announcements of like I think because they're doing all the Egghead stuff. I think that's a problem.
I think but like that's the thing is there weren't like one of those like display only figures. They were officially promo. Like they
are solicited. They are commercialization has been decided. Yeah, they are happening. We don't know when. All right, next up, Mother of Ultra.
You forgot Omega. I just realized in this in the at least in the doc.
Oh, I did. Whoopsies. There was 10 Figuarts this week. All right, let me go pull it. Actually, let's just talk about Mother while that loads.
Yeah, let's talk about Mother.
So, Mother is a P Bandai exclusive. She is listed as a U.S. release, but like I said earlier, all the U.S. releases are on hold at the moment, so we don't know if she's going to be P Bandai.
So the Shonen woman could be retail, but not the Mother of Ultra.
No, we never had a retail Ultra. Wheels has had a long-standing thing of every time they make her, she's P Bandai.
Oh, my God, me starting on shit. Ultra Act. Then they did it again. Ultra Act. Did it again.
Yeah, really frustrating, isn't it? she's always P Bandai. At least this time we have a better chance of getting her because P Bandai US exists. It's just we have to wait and find out now because.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? We're starting a revolution.
Revolution.
Wait till I can get up in the morning.
No, we're doing the Birds of Prey theme song. Anyways, she comes with one beam effect, and that's about it. Which is, at least she's only 8,800 yen, you know. But
listen, if they really wanted to make it if they really wanted to make this a real P Bandai, give us the alternate chest piece from the first time she showed up.
The giant knockers.
The giant knockers is funny. I went looking into that. That was an Ultraman suit that they put knockers on.
Yes, it was. It was.
Technically, that needs to be a separate figure, and we can just release it as like
with nipples.
Trans Mother of Ultra.
Yes.
But no, like
nipples. They put nipples on it.
They did, and it's the most insane thing. I was watching Taro, and she shows up, and I'm like, why does she have nipples?
It's probably because it's like one of those like already made fake boob props, probably.
Yeah.
I got up, and then come back down and just heard nipples, and I'm like, well, I gotta see this.
It reminds me of that scene in Scrooge where like Bandai's like, you can see her nipples, Wheels. I want to see her nipples.
Nipples.
I mean, if I'm gonna pay P Bandai prices, give me it. Because my God, this is bullshit. It should not be P Bandai. You made freaking Father of Ultra retail.
Yep.
You know where Beam Effect reminds me of? You know that famous clip of at the Disney parks of Minnie
Mouse
fire in the dragon. That's what it reminded me of.
Yes. No, totally.
Also, isn't she missing a cape? I feel like, or am I misremembering?
Father didn't come with a cape either.
They just don't feel like it.
Okay, I was like, it's one of those things.
Governor 64 says, "Are they trying to sexualize the figure?" On the Tamashi Nation's Twitter account, they have a collage of 4 images of her, and one is just a close up of her ass. Not even kidding.
Look,
like they're not even hiding it.
Hey, look! If Araka has a butt shot, she's gonna have a butt shot.
Yep. You know who doesn't get a butt shot? Dingy. Dingy didn't get a butt shot.
Yeah, but his tits are out.
Yeah, I know, but still, like, equality.
All right. His tits are out. Tits and ass are the same.
The retail Ultraman figure art for October, no, just kidding, he's coming out in August, is Ultraman Omega. He jumped. This show, Arc was like, I think, September or something.
September, and Armors were November and October.
October, November, yeah. Omega, this figure art got announced like 2 hours after the show did.
Because Arc at least took a week to get announced, I think, right?
Yeah, I think Arc, they waited till the show premiered or something. Not quite, no. They waited till the toys got revealed. We haven't even seen the deluxe toy of the Slugger, and yet we already have the figure art up for order.
I thought, was that the show prop then?
That was the show prop. They have not shown the actual toy version, and they haven't solicited the toy. They haven't revealed anything. They just immediately went boom. Like, it came out so quick, and it's like, it threw me off guard because he's already been up for pre-order, for 3 days now, and the show's not even a week old in announcement. He does come with a removable Slugger and an alternate head to accommodate that, or an alternate piece. I'm not exactly sure. But...
I mean, we can't complain about missing accessories.
Collector K9 says we have seen the deluxe Slugger toy. Okay, if we've seen it, they didn't post it on the website. They may have shown it on the Twitter, but they didn't post it on their website. There's no listing for it yet.
It's weird, because I'm actually not a fan. To me, the figure art, maybe it's just the pose, but he doesn't look as, buff as the...
He's not. He's slimmed out. Almost all the Ultra figure arts are slimmed out for some reason.
Oh, no, Arc's pretty buff for...
Yeah, I think it's because he's got, parts of him that come off. But anyways, they showed the deluxe toy. They didn't put the deluxe toy for solicitation. They put the pre-order up for the figure art. He's only 6,600 yen, though, which is pretty cool. Okay, so they just showed it in the designer blog. Yeah, so this is still coming out faster than that is. And so the fact he's going to come out, when the show's on its 4th episode is nuts.
I mean, I guess it's when they went, well, you knew it was coming, so might as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've just never seen them move this fast, even with Kamen Rider. It's wild. It's just nuts.
I wonder if it shows which franchise were popular.
Yep. All right. Surprisingly, retail is SH Figuarts General Grievous, who was another figure that was sitting in limbo for 8 years. They have shown this guy many times. Just like Char, it's been a while, and it finally exists. He's also 18,150 yen.
I mean, look at him. At least I can understand that price.
Yeah, this price I don't question. He's got the paint weathering, he's got the cloth cape, he's got the lightsabers, he's got the arm splitting feature.
Cloth wire cape.
Yeah, cloth wire cape.
And does he come with a stand, or is that just just photos?
I'm not exactly sure. I'll check the listings, but you can have him both, 2 arms and 4-arm mode.
Oh, he does. He does. Dedicated stand. He does come with dedicated.
Good, because I don't think he can stand otherwise, because that's just how this design goes.
That's always wrong with every General Grievous toy.
Yeah,
he can't stand.
He is not coming out in the U.S. though, because stupid Hasbro.
Probably, honestly, the best General Grievous toy I've seen.
Because
I think it's actually the really good weathering paint he has.
I think the paint's really what's selling it. And I think the extra joints are going to make him more stable too, which will help.
I love General Grievous so much.
Yeah.
I always want. It will never happen, but I always want animation accurate Gendy Grievous.
That would be cool.
He's always been my favorite look at the character.
They always just repaint the movie one, and I'm like, that's not it.
It doesn't work. It's different body proportions.
Exactly. All right, and our last figure art is Monkey D. Luffy Gear 5 for Egghead. They had done a teaser of the stretched out hockey arm for Luffy, and I was like, I said it in the Discord, I was like, that's either a part set, or it's figure DLC with Rob Lucci, or for some reason they're going to remake Gear 5. Guess they just decided to remake Gear 5 instead.
So how do you feel getting another Gear 5 before we get Sanji, Usopp, and Robin?
Sanji, Usopp, whatever. The fact I'm getting this before the queen of all, Nico Robin, is the problem here. I get it, because this one, one of the issues with Gear 5 is because of the sleeves, he's not compatible with the other stretchy arms. So they made him without, because he doesn't have the shirt this time. Because Lucci took his shirt off, and Luffy's like, "I'll do the same."
Because at least this one, like honestly, this even though like I get there's frustration of like we're getting this before we get A and B character, but like this one, at least this one, I feel like it's gonna be a better figure compared to the first Gear 5.
I think what helps is like the removal of the shirt is going to make it a little bit easier to pose him. He does still use the same legs. It's the same legs though, which is here or there.
At least arms are not gonna tear, because I think the problem with the arms is because of the sleeve. There's too much like rubber mass.
There's layers to those arms, whereas these are single pieces, and I think that's gonna help. I'm also hoping, because I can't confirm this, I'm hoping this smoke effect is going to be lighter weight, because the one that's on him is too heavy.
Do you think it would be better if it was glued in also?
I think it'd be better if it was glued in. There's no reason for it to be removable on this one. Also, like, looking back at it, back and forth, because he's sitting right here, I think that's about what's different. The torso is new, though, because it doesn't have the jacket. He does come with this really cool, like, running effect that I really like.
I love that you get a Sonic looking.
The very, like, cartoon, like, running. Oh, he also comes with his old man face, which is funny, because that happens when, I think that's something Bonnie does to him. So it's kind of funny it comes with Gear 5, but I love that he comes with the goggles face, and I love that he comes with the hockey arms. Honestly, for me, I see this more as like a hockey arms part set plus an extra attempt at Gear 5.
Do you feel the same faces for Gear 5 is a bit frustrating? Because
it is.
Like, because at least I feel like if you're going to do Gear 5 again soon-ish, I feel like you at least should give...
He has two faces that are repeat, the big smile and the open laugh. The intense eyes, that one's new. That the intense eyes with the gritted teeth, that's new, and the one where he's got like the tongue sticking out, that's new because it goes with the goggles. So it's not as repeated there. This is also P Bandai. This time,
whereas, in the West also.
No idea because.
Oh yeah, right. You're right.
Yeah. I think it could be better. I will say
what's nice about him is if you don't want the bendy normal arms, you can swap it with the Roman-san.
Yes,
arms.
You can swap the arms to posable arms this time because it's the same system and you don't run into the sleeves issue.
Because I haven't seen One Piece. Did Luffy pre-time skip use hockey, or was that a time skip only thing?
He started to use it. I think he started to use it pre-time skip, but not much. It was really mostly post-time skip.
But still, it's nice to use these with your Roman-san Luffy.
Yeah, because he started to use it, but it was really like after he met Rayleigh and stuff.
Poor Ray Onodashima Luffy. He literally has nothing to work with.
He can get legs. He's compatible with legs.
Yeah, just legs. That's it.
I will say though, if they make this and they don't make Awaken Rob Lucci, like I kind of wonder why we bothered.
Wait, Rob Lucci's the tiger dude, right?
Yeah, he's.
Can you just get Etched Figuarts Tekken 8 King?
Technically, yes, but like he's a spotted leopard. I have this Banpresto statue of him. He would make a great figure. And the big fights in. I guess there's two options here. In Egghead, there's two big fights that Luffy does with Gear 5. The first one's against Rob Lucci Awakened, which is kind of iconic at this point because they did the Majin Vegeta Goku thing of like barely a thing in the manga, suddenly in the anime it's a big deal. The other big fight is against Admiral Kizaru, and if they make Kizaru because they made this, that'd be great too. But the accessories here really do fit the Lucci fight more. And also we're really just overdue for more villains, and Lucci would be a good one. I'm not just saying that because he's my favorite villain in One Piece, but I'm just saying in general. Kizaru, I think, also would be great. But, yeah, it's a good point. The Kizaru fight is happening in the anime right now. Kyle mentioned that. So I could kind of see it going either way. It would be nice if we just got both. But we'll see what they do. Because they tend to not just make these figures stand alone. They always kind of have somebody go with them.
Could they just reuse the cloud from Gear 5 Luffy on Lucci, or no?
No, it needs to be a different shape. Because Lucci's awakened power, it's not as big. It's more streamlined, and so I don't think they can't reuse the same part because Luffy's is kind of more like a Super Saiyan aura, whereas this is more like a Super Saiyan 2 lightning. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So there's that thing. Let me pull up the Ultraman Omega toys real quick because K9 sent them to me.
Back, guys. I'm dead. I just saw a meme I should not have seen.
Okay, we'll get to that later.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna pull up the Bandai page here for the Ultraman Omega toys so we can take a look at them. Let's see, where is it at?
Is there anybody else in Egghead besides the Lucci, Rob Lucci, and the other one you did? Well, we had to get which out all the Vegapunks you think they should make?
Lilith, because she actually goes on to Elbath.
Is that the girl? Is that the blonde girl one, or
it's the purple girl? Has she purple hair, or am I thinking Bonnie again? I get mixed up with colors on One Piece because I read most of this black and white.
In the manga, yeah.
Yeah. Let me just Vegapunk Lilith. The orange. She's orange. She's the orange one. She's got a purple jacket. I knew I wasn't crazy.
Yeah. Okay, that's she's like the main one, right? Because I remember like
she's like the first one they meet in Egghead, and she actually continues on beyond the arc. I won't say spoilers, but she's in Elbath. So that would be the one I would make if I was going to make a Vegapunk. All right, Ultraman Omega's. Oh, sorry. One more thing. Was there another thing?
No. I was just saying that makes sense. Yeah, she makes sense to make a figure of her.
Okay. So we got Ultraman Omega's Safubi vinyl, which comes with a special version of the little gemstone thing.
He's Horpinker Press, free him.
And a booklet. And so here he is. Not looking super great because they don't have the paint budget. He's missing some stripes.
Look, Ultra Safubi can get away on like Rider Sentai.
Yeah. And then here is the special version of the gimmick. It's called the Omega Meteo. I
like the blue pattern inside the crystal there. Mm-hmm. It looks really nice.
And then there also will be an here's the actual toy of the Slugger, which is looking really cool and neat. It says it's easy to understand if you think of Seven transforming using his Slugger. So
it doesn't look that much different from the show prop. I think that's kind of a good thing.
And then they're also talking about how it has two modes of play, the way that like the Trigger Spark Lens was, where it's like weapon mode and transformation mode.
Those are always some of my favorite hedge devices, just the things that just pop open, stuff like that.
And then they also tease the Ultra Action Hero figure of him, which is looking pretty cool.
It's kind of funny we got the Figuarts first before we got the Ultra Action Hero.
This happened with Gav. I think the basic figure got announced after the Figuart did.
Which is funny because the basic figures actually has some better articulation than the Figuart from right here.
So the price on this is going to be the Slugger's price is 5,995 yen. Pre-orders start June 6th, and then they come out July 5th, of course.
That's not bad.
It's not too bad.
That's actually pretty cheap for these kind of roleplay toys.
Yeah. There's also a campaign item where you can get the Omega Meteo on a necklace if you get it from a store. Or it's a survey. I think it's a survey thing.
Son of a...
I'm kind of curious how they're gonna do the gimmick because from my trio, don't the decor, the Meteos go insert the color side into the device, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm curious how they're gonna do like the round, like how they're gonna do round. If the whole gimmick is color timers, are they gonna do like just like round circle like color timers, like round circle goes into square hole?
It's okay. Collector K9 said the necklace is exclusive to a meet and greet event. Even better, even harder to get. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how it all work out. I feel like they're all gonna be different colors. I think that's gonna be the distinguishing thing. It's like the arc cubes are all the same shape, but then the colors are different, and the images they put on are different. Yeah.
Because it's kind of physically impossible to do.
Yep.
Get round hole into square peg.
Mm-hmm. We ran a little overtime, but you guys want to do some plug-in now? Because I think we got through everything.
Jerry, what do you do tomorrow?
I'm not sure anymore, but it's that Tuesday on Fighter Counts at 4 p.m. Eastern.
King of no.
King of. Just gotta put that in the title. King of Shrug emoji.
Exactly. I have no idea because I don't know if I was playing KOF or something else.
Shrug of Tuesdays.
That's a good one.
Shrug of Tuesdays.
That's a good one.
Pretty good. All right, Wheels. What do you got? You're up.
Check out Hero Club at hero-club.com. Follow us across social media using Hero Club for Life. That's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, twitch.tv. We stream on Twitch Wednesdays and Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern. And that's all I really got. I mean, go check out our current interviews. Check out our current comic reviews. Have issue 6 of Prime out most likely tomorrow or Wednesday. Etc., etc. Do I want mini-pla? I don't know.
You do, but do you want to pay the price on them?
Exactly.
Ooh, there's a murder mystery Star Trek Picard board game coming out. That's a weird mix that specifically appeals to me.
Exactly, like that's they're listening.
They're listening to the inside of my brain. I was just checking Big Bad Toys to make sure we didn't miss anything. Anyways, so Ryan, would you like to promote your stuff? I think you're next.
Follow me, follow Dark Horse 643. Follow Dark Horse 643 on YouTube and Blue Sky. I do Archivist like the one you see Raid channel. Feel free to DM me in the Blue Sky or Sound Discord protocol in the link in the description below.
Yeah. For me, as you guys know, videos coming out as usual. This week we got Omega Prime, which should be Wednesday's video because I heard the doorbell ring and that should have been it getting delivered. So video on Wednesday, not necessarily a straight review. I think I'm going to be talking about the QC thing. Then I should also have gotten another package, so you should be seeing some more Figuarts shorts over the next few weeks. Next week we're going to have a live stream as normal, but the week after, for the next 2 weeks after, I'm going to be out of town, so we're going to have some pre-recorded streams go up as premieres, kind of like how we did the Toy Fair coverage, where it will be pre-recorded, but we'll have a live chat as part of the video premiere. And then there will be videos going up as normal. It's like you won't even notice I'm gone. But you know, they're going to be simpler videos though. So like, don't expect like anything too crazy while I'm gone. It's just going to be like, I've already kind of scheduled it out and it's like, here's like a disc discussion or here's like a tier list video. And so I got it all scheduled out so that way I can, you know, spend the next week and a half producing all of it, getting it uploaded and getting that all done. So that's the plan. Should be a comic haul on Friday. If for some reason I can't get the Omega Prime video done, I'll sub in the comic haul real quick for Wednesday, but I'm going to work really hard to get Omega Prime done tomorrow. So that's the plans. And that's pretty much it. So we'll see you guys next week for the same type of show. And we'll have a good time.
Same sound time, same sound channel.
Exactly. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.